Hello. Hello, testing. Using a different streaming device today. Okay, there we go. That took long enough. Okay, I think, let me double check, but I think we're good now. Hi, welcome in. Let me double check the audio. I gotta grab my headphones. We're using OBS today, so it's a little different on the setup. Pardon the struggles. Gonna double check the audio before I get started. Because last time the music wasn't coming through and that was so sad. Hello? Hello. Oh. There we go. Okay. Hey, we're back. Okay, I think we're good now. Sorry about that. I was figuring some things out. It all happened in due time. Let me pull up the chat. How is everybody on this lovely Thursday evening, possibly Friday, depending on where you're at, depending on where you are? Today we're making a Valentine's Day cake, something sweet and simple. Here we go, pulling up Twitch chat right here, right now. Sorry we're late. Couldn't figure out OBS. Have been using Prism up until now. And then it's been several days since I used OBS, and so I forgot how to do everything. But here we are now. It'll become, second nature as I do it more often, so we're good. All right, we got this. I gotta pull up YouTube chat, and then we'll be ready to go. But yeah, how is everybody? I don't know about you, but this week was busy, in a good way though. So that's cool. Also exciting, we have, wait a minute. Can't even do two things at one time. Okay, there's that, there's this. And yes, okay, this should be everything. Welcome. Let's get started. That was all just for suspense and anticipation. Yeah, that's why we did it. Gosh, this light is like right in my eyeballs. 1 minute. Cool. Okay. So I think both chats are live. We're multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch today. But I think if I got it set up correctly, I think we now have Twitch alerts set up for sub alerts and other fun stuff like followers and things like that. So we're gonna see if I did it right. I think it's all set up. Should be cool. Anyway, let's get started. So like maybe 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that I put out an ad for some Valentine's Day cakes, and so that's what we're doing today. I got one, count 'em, one order. So we're making one of those conversation hearts today. It's gonna be white and it's gonna have pink frosting on top. So it'll be pretty simple cake. It's not gonna take super long. So after that, I have a couple other projects I need to work on for next week and the following week. So there was a sudden influx of orders. They're all very spread out, but it's still nice to have something to look forward to make on the channel besides just like fun, whatever I want kind of cakes. So today, Valentine's Day. Next week, we have a going away cake for Friday, I believe. So like Thursday night your time, we'll be finishing it. So I think I'm gonna have to work on that one Monday and Friday. It's gonna be Severance themed. Yeah, it's a going away cake for someone in my partner's office, and they were a big fan of Severance, and that's what they talked about a lot. So that's what we're doing. We got a notification. Hi, Kyle. Yes, we are getting started. It took me a minute, but I got there. And then let's see what else. Oh, we also got I gotta remember what the date is. It might not be, I think it's not till March, but we also have a fun order coming up for another kid's birthday party. And it's gonna be unicorn themed, and they gave me like creative license to do whatever, so that's really fun. I'm trying to remember how old they are. They're quite young, but they love pink, and so we're gonna make a really fantastical pink unicorn cake. So that'll be fun, but that's like not till next month. So a lot of cakes before then, but I was just excited that we got another order. And then let's see, I think 2 months from now, we have another going away cake. Plus in May, we have that cowgirl themed birthday cake that I mentioned. So we got a couple orders to look forward to. It's fun to have stuff up on my little whiteboard calendar to look forward to. I put a big red box around my cake order days, priority stuff, you know. How much notice do you need to make a cake? If it's a simple like buttercream type thing, like something like this where it's just buttercream, I don't have to order any fondant or additional like decorative elements. You know, I usually say a week minimum. I just feel like that's a good starting point for someone to start their inquiry, because sometimes they're like, hey, can you make a cake for next week? And then, you know, it still takes like a day or two for them to get me all the details depending on how quick they are about that kind of thing. And yeah, and just like planning to meet for the pickup and everything. So, but yeah, if it was something simple, I could probably like bake it and decorate it same day, but rule of thumb for most things, I would say at least a week. Longer if they want specific stuff. Like I don't have every kind of sprinkle on hand, so like if they want a specific type of sprinkles or something like that, I gotta have time to order certain things. So yeah. Speaking of, I ran out of rainbow sprinkles, and so far around here, the only place that I've found them sells them in like tiny little, like, I'm talking like 3/4 of an ounce packages. I need like a big thing of them, because when I do funfetti, I put a generous amount into the batter as well. So I go through them more regularly. Also, like rainbow sprinkles are like, I feel like, you know, in high demand. So I ordered some several weeks ago now, and usually I feel like stuff gets here before its projected arrival date. I don't know where they're at. I actually need to look into that. I keep, I think I've already checked a couple times, but I was like, did I not hit send? You know, like, did I not actually order them? But I went back and checked and I ordered them. They've just been delayed for some reason. That's okay though. That being said though, I know I keep talking about it and it's not till May, but I should go ahead and order some extra fondant for that cowgirl cake because it's a lot of fondant. And if things are gonna be this delayed, I'm like, I wanna have it like well ahead of time. So I'm not anxious about, is it gonna get here? Am I gonna have what I need when I need to make the cake? Okay, so I need to put a little plop under the cake to adhere it to the board. There we go. And smush it down. But yeah, this one's gonna be cute and simple. Oh, the message. So I wanted to tell you about the message today. Originally, so this customer said, we don't really do Valentine's Day, but we do cake. So I was like, oh, cool. So they wanted the cake. And originally they said till death for the conversation heart message. What's the cheapest ever and most expensive cake you made? So for like some friends and family and out here, since I'm not operating the business in the same capacity, I do be giving like my husband's coworkers, I give them like a discount and stuff because they're some of my main clientele. And I get other orders from people on base through word of mouth through them. So I'm like, yeah, I'll give them a discount. The cheapest cake I ever made. Well, I guess maybe these ones because I'm only making them a single layer. I tried to price them like really cheaply. So I had a 5-inch version, a 7-inch and a 9-inch, and the 5-inch was only gonna be, I think I said $20 or something, which I go back and forth about pricing over here because in DC, you know, I was very firm about my pricing. Cost of living, cost of ingredients there is different. Out here, you know, you kind of have to cater to your area, and a lot of people living on base are like young enlisted people or like young families and stuff. So I'm trying to kind of play in between, you know, because like I want to be accessible, but I still need to value my time and, you know, cover my ingredients and things. But at the same time, you know, just trying to make it worthwhile a little bit. I realize that this is not going to be the same income in this capacity as it was. Like, it's just not the same thing it was when I was working in Virginia and had like a full, like, you know, full-time business going. So, yeah. I guess one of these cakes, because I'm trying to do them only for, you know, like 20 bucks. I was just trying to, also if you're planning like a promo like that, if you math it out to where you're making multiple of the same thing, you know, it kind of works out in your favor if you know, do them less expensive, get more orders. But yeah. Most expensive cake that I've done for my business, probably one of my wedding cakes. Either I made this one that was white and had some cool gold leaf details, and then a hand-painted like map of all the continents because they were into travel and they wanted to incorporate that. Or there was this it was like 3 tiers, but they were all tall tiers. So like instead of 3 layers of cake in each tier, they were 4 layers of cake. So it was like super tall. And it was navy blue, like really gorgeous, deep kind of navy royal, more towards navy, like midnight blue almost. And then it had gold sprinkles that kind of like, they were really heavy at the bottom and then kind of scattered up. So like they were dense towards the bottom and then scattered upwards. So the gold on the dark blue kind of looked like stars in the night sky, and it was cute for sure. And they liked it. Delivery for that one, that was a bit of a nail biter just because it was just this huge towering cake. It wasn't, I had done one 4-tier, but it was like a much smaller scale 4-tier before. So this one I was like, ooh. Also the road to that venue was so bumpy. Like part of the road, It was in like a like this big, pretty venue, community center type thing in a park. Very pretty location. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was somewhere in I want to say it was in Maryland. But yeah, getting getting there was scary because as you got further and further to the park, the roads were like less paved, and then like I got to this parking lot and it was sort of just like gravel, and I was like, oh my god, and started driving so slowly with this giant, enormous, super tall, towering cake in the back. It made it there safely. If I remember, the walk up to the building from the car to like get in the venue wasn't super bad. That's another thing, like planning your entry. I'm like, can I park my car here for like 20 minutes and throw on my hazards? Like, is someone gonna get mad at me? I would love to be closer to this building. But yeah, they were happy with it. Their place was really pretty. The way they had decorated, they picked like a lot of jewel tones. It wasn't just like white, which was cool. And it wasn't a winter wedding either. I feel like sometimes people go like dark colors for a winter wedding, and spring and summer are like lighter colors just seasonally. But this one, I was like, yeah, they went all out and they did what they wanted. They had a vision. Their floral arrangements are really pretty too, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that one, that 3-tiered tall cake, that one was like, because the bottom tier was like, I want to say it was either a 10, 8, 6-inch cake, I think. I don't know, but I want to say it was like over $900, which isn't crazy for the amount of servings. It sounds like a lot for a cake, but not crazy for the amount of servings, not crazy for the delivery. I can't remember exactly how much that one was. I think I still have access to like my invoices and stuff. I could go look and really get you the scoop about which one was the most expensive though. But yeah, I was pleased with how that one came out. I only had to do like a little bit of touch up when I got there too. Like a couple sprinkles here and there had fallen off, so I touched it back up, and they had this really pretty cake stand. It was like gold and ornate, sort of filigree looking stuff. That was a bit of a challenge though, because like not only did I have to lift it onto the table, I then had to lift it like up onto this, like it was about like this tall. It had like legs. That's the other thing, when people have their own cake stand, you're like, can this thing support 50 pounds or however much it's gonna be? It's like, yeah. That happened one time where you watch Great British Bake Off or any food competition shows. Yes, I love Great British Bake Off. It is so cute. And I feel like every time I watch that show, I get really inspired because their challenges are so unique. It's not always just like bake and decorate a cake. They do so many baking challenges, and the way that they have that show set up, I love, because the 3 like stages of the show are very distinct. Like the technical is the middle one. I forget what they call the first challenge. And then the like showpiece one at the end of the show. I think it's a really well formulated show because people really get to show off their skills in that way. Like the first one is all about the flavors, I feel like, usually, and the makeup. Like it still has to look nice. And then the middle is like, okay, doing it blind. What are your skills? Like, what do you know how to do? Kind of like how, I feel like the middle one is really a tell of like how seasoned they are, just like what kind of variety of techniques have you practiced. Sometimes I feel like people luck out though, because they're like, oh, my mom used to make these all the time. I'm really familiar with these actually. And then you kind of have a leg up. And then the last challenge always has like an artistic component to it, like more heavy on the design style. Plus I really like the judges, and I feel like they get a good wide variety of contestants, like all ages, all, you know, gender spectrum and whatever. Like I think it's cool that it's not just like, this is only the hot and young upcoming bakers, because they're all you know, home bakers and amateurs, and it's a lot of them is not their main focus, you know. Some of them I feel like it after the show turned into their main focus, but you know, there's always the backstory about like so and so is an IT professional at such and such, and they bake in their free time for their dog and their grandma. Like all the backstories are always so wholesome and sweet. Yeah. I don't know what my favorite season is. Also, I haven't watched the most recent season all the way through. I had started it and then I haven't been watching. I went home for a little while, I think around the start of the season, so I was mostly just visiting with friends and family and kind of dropped off on watching the season, so I gotta go back and watch it. I know it's already like, you know, said and done, but yeah. And the judges are cool. I like the silly like bits that the hosts do as well. I feel like it's a good setup because the judges get to be like all, you know, refined and serious, and then they have the silly guys. I love Noel Fielding. Allison is also amazing. I feel like they got a good bit with them. But I like the other hosts they've had as well. They've had a lot of good hosts. I can't remember all their names right now. Matt something, the bald guy with the glasses. And then, oh shoot, what's her name? She shows up on a lot of British panel shows. Oh rats, I can't think of her name. She cracks me up. There's this one episode of the Big Fat Quiz of the Year. That's like a yearly British comedy panel show where they like do quizzes about the events of the year. And there was a bit about her. She didn't want to stand up during the filming because she said, "These are not my performance pants." Like, you know, she was expecting being behind, oh, I can't remember her name. She was expecting to be behind a desk the whole time. And so she hadn't worn like pants that like went with her outfit, I guess, up top. Good stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I feel like every time I watch the Great British Bake Show, or Bake Off, I know they call it something different here and then something different in the UK, but I get inspired. I'm like, that's such a cool technique. I've always wanted to do that. Like, I guess it was this season, they did sponge cakes that had designs piped into the actual sponge. So like on your parchment paper, you color a bit of the sponge batter, pipe it out, and then lay the rest of the batter over the top of it. So you could pipe like, you know, floral designs or patterns like stripes or plaids or something. And then you could also do like characters and stuff. And I tried my hand at that after seeing that episode because I'd seen people do it before online and stuff and just never tried it. I was like, oh, I should try that. It turned out all right. I was going to film a whole video for YouTube on it, but I wanted to give it another go. The first time I did it, I had some like little issues and I was like, okay, this would film better if I pick a different design next time. I haven't gotten back around to it, but I want to because I feel like that's so cool. I've seen people, so they did a roulade, they did like a Swiss roll kind of cake. I've seen people do it just on a circle cake, like as the top layer of the cake as well. I feel like that's also really cool. Like this one decorator on Instagram. This is like the main thing I've seen from her. I follow her now, but I haven't like seen all her stuff. She was really cool. She did like a piped floral design in the sponge on the top tier or the top layer of the cake. So it's essentially a naked cake. And then it has the decorations like on the cake itself. And then there's like cream or jam or both between all the layers, which is cool. Yeah, those shows are cool. I also, they made tiered pies one time, like pastry pies. I'm talking like savory pies, but they were like, what do you call it? A hot water crust or something. So the crust is like a little more sturdy. It's still flaky, but it's a little more sturdy than a typical pie crust. And then they stack them up. I was like, what? Tiered pies, that is crazy business. I do want to do more savory baking also, just in general. That show makes me want to make more savory stuff. I feel like I tend to think like, baking fruit flavors and chocolate and cinnamon and stuff, but like, I love to make more delicious savory items as well. And then I could eat more of them constantly because I won't be like, I'm eating way too much sugar. you know? Yeah. But the other show I watched recently, oh, I finally remembered the name, the one with Duff Goldman I kept referring to, and then I forgot to look it up. Super Mega Cakes. That's the one with Duff Goldman. And then he has like this team of however many people, I think it was like 15 people. And then he's going head to head with like 5 or 6 teams of competitors. And each of those teams is making something that plays to a certain theme. Like one of the things was Superman. So they made this really awesome Superman cake. And Duff is like conducting all of his teams at the same time to compete with those competitors. So it's like he's, you know, going back and forth from like, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6. I think it's 5 different projects, trying to guide them and like helping with like certain key elements of each design. And then each of those competitors is like a separate bakery entity, you know, well known or not. I think most of them are like from pretty successful bakeries. I don't think any of them were like amateurs or just home bakers. I'm pretty sure they're all professionals in the field. Yeah, they definitely were, because they did like a little blurb on each of the competitors' businesses, like where they were located. People came from all over to compete. And they did a Superman themed one that was right around the time the Superman movie was coming out, like the latest one. Duff made like the Fortress of Solitude, the big ice sculpture looking thing. He made it out of ice with a chainsaw. And then there was another theme. My favorite one was where the cake had to have an interior. I think I mentioned this before, but like it was a cake, but then you had to create an interior to the structure that had like a scene going on. So someone did like an Atlantis sort of temple to Poseidon, and then the other competitor did like a theater, like with a ballet going on a stage inside of a cake. I'm like, that's bananas. Also, it was really funny how they filmed it. They had like a GoPro camera on a stick and then like put it inside the cake so you could see everything inside. It was super awesome. Also the city of Atlantis was like on the back of a giant sea turtle. Amazing, crazy stuff. I do like Is It Cake, but I have some gripes with that show. Not anything major. I'm just like some of the like production choices. I know they do some things for the suspense or the drama or whatever, but some of the production choices on that show, I'm just like, I don't feel like that, you know? Like how they choose the characters, and then the competitors, not characters, how they choose the competitors for each round. And then it's like, if you lose, you get knocked out, and then the winner gets a chance to win the money if they can spot the difference in the other cake. And yeah, so like I feel like sometimes the judges, so they invite like 3 judges on to like see if they can tell which one is cake. I feel like sometimes the judges kind of mess up the fidelity of like the competition, because it's like, so the first person who goes up, I'm like, okay, it's pretty obvious which one's the fake one. But I feel like the judges are like, ooh, like, we'll pretend, you know, that we can't tell. But then there has to be a loser. So the next person up is like, oh, yeah. And then they'll act like, you know, pretty normal. Like, oh, we can tell which one it is, and we think it's this one, and they'll pick it. Yeah, so I feel like, a lot of times the person who goes first has an advantage, because like the judges are kind of warming up and being like, oh, we don't want to like tell, you know, you have to play it up like, oh, we can't tell which one it is actually. Sometimes you can tell. And then I just feel like the person who goes second gets the short end of the stick. It is what it is, I guess. Also, I didn't really like the host of that show at first. I know he's like one of the guys from SNL, but I was like, this guy has crazy psycho killer person eyes. He never blinks. I'm pretty sure he's a robot. But I know it's like his particular brand of comedy. I guess it's just not my thing. I think it's also because I feel like Is It Cake, different in theme, but I feel like it was kind of analogous, started coming around the same time as Nailed It, and I just really love Nicole Byer so much. I'm like, oh, no one can do it like she can. So she's the host for Nailed It. One of the hosts. She and Jacques Torres. He's the chocolatier, the chocolate wonder boy. Yeah, she cracked me up the first episode I watched of Nailed It. I'm like, who is this wonderful, delightful person? And then I started like watching some of her stand-up and listen to all her podcasts. She's ridiculous and I love it so much. It's been a long time since then. I was just listening, and there's like so many seasons of Nailed It now. I think I've missed a couple actually, but I was just thinking back to the first time I watched Nailed It when the first season came out. I'm like, what is this delightful show? I feel like that show has gotten a lot better too, because yes, they get super amateur bakers on there, but now they kind of give them more guidance. Like they have the judge, or they have the host, Nicole Byer and Jacques Torres, and then they have the judges who come on, but they also have like stand-in guest decorator kind of hosts who are there to guide the competitors through certain stages of their cake process. So they had Robert, I forget his last name. Robert, his name is The Sweet Impact on YouTube and his other social channels, but he was on there and he was like one of the guest coach people. So he was on there kind of like coaching some of the competitors through the process, which I thought was cool, because then it's like, it gives them a fighting chance. And then I feel like the end results, it's like a little bit more, my hands look really big when I do this. Look how tiny my head looks. I feel like it gives the competitors a better final project, or final product rather, to present to the judges. Like sometimes they've straight up received things that looked inedible. Yeah, so I feel like that's improved things a lot, like giving people some pointers here and there. Yeah. Oh, hey, welcome in people in the YouTube chat. Sorry, I started rambling about cake decorating shows. So I'm back though. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Hey, welcome in. We're making a Valentine's Day cake today. It's gonna say "Haunt Me" on top. There's a movie coming out. It's based on a classic book called Wuthering Heights. Great book. Pretty messed up, sort of toxic relationship in there, but it's, you know, a tale of revenge, so what do you expect? But the main two characters have this like passionate love affair, but at certain points it's kind of like a love-hate sort of relationship. Anyway, at one point, like one of the lines is in the book is like, "Haunt me." Anyway, so this cake is gonna say "Haunt me" because it's like they loved each other so much, they want to be like in each other's lives as much as possible, even if it's like in a negative way. I don't know, you gotta read it, it's crazy. It's an older one, obviously, it's like a classic. Charlotte Bronte, yeah, I always get mixed up. Emily Bronte wrote Jane Eyre and Charlotte Bronte wrote Wuthering Heights. Correct me if I'm wrong. One of the Brontes. I'm so sorry, I should remember it. But yeah, I haven't read that book since like high school, but me and my friend were talking about it recently, and so I kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot all that happened. Yeah, that book was kind of messed up at the time. There were some books like as a teenager, and I think this is sort of typical, also just the age that I grew up in, you know, like, I don't know, Twilight and stuff like that. People are like, oh my gosh, it's so romantic. But now through like a modern lens, they're like, you know, Edward was way too possessive and stuff. Like, he was not a good boyfriend. Yeah, but there was also a period of time where I'm like, oh my God, the Phantom of the Opera, how romantic. Also not a good situation. He was also crazy and possessive and terrible. But I'm like, but he wanted her, right? I don't know. Yeah. Kind of same thing. In this one, it's like, yes, it's a romance, but it's also like all about like how people manipulate each other and revenge, and yeah, also like I feel like generational trauma because this one guy was treated terribly as a child and he treats the, you know, next generations of kids in that family horribly as well. Anyway, I'm not giving this book a real good you know, Goodreads review right now, but it is well written. It is a great tale. Also, it's a classic, so based on that alone, you should check it out sometime. Yeah. I'm gonna run and put this in the fridge for a second so that I can make up my pink piping bag. We need some pink frosting for the message on top. But yeah, so this is gonna go in the fridge for a minute. We'll bring it back out and then we'll do our message on top. So 2 seconds and I'll return. Also after this, so yeah, this is a pretty simple cake. It's a conversation heart, so like the concept is simple. After this, I have a couple projects I need to start for future cake orders, ones that are a little more in depth. They're sort of like the extra pieces to those cakes that I can make ahead of time. So we're gonna do some of that today. So look forward to that after this cake is complete. We have so I have to make Gandalf at some point, like a small little version of him, but I also need to make a keyboard from a Severance cake. So we'll figure out which one we do first after this, but that's gonna fill some time because if we just did this one today, I'd be signing off in like, you know, 30 minutes and say like goodbye. So we're gonna fill our time a little bit today with some additional projects that I need to tackle for, you know, next week and then also for next month. Okay, back. So I have to make a keyboard for a computer cake. The computer, it needs to serve like 20 people. So I'm thinking roughly an 8 or 9 inch square because it's gonna be very cube shaped. That's like a lot of servings if you imagine. But I need to figure out how to do the keyboard. I think this is too big, but I have a couple square molds that I thought I could use for the keys because there's a lot of keys and I want them to look as regular as possible, as in regular in shape and size. No irregularities, I guess is what I mean. So I'm thinking this one will work. They're not, the only thing that's gonna bother me is, you know, keyboard keys are often more like trapezoidal shape. They're kind of like a plateau where the sides tilt in a little bit, and then these are going to be more cube-like. But I think that originally I thought this one would be perfect based on the shape. These squares have like rounded edges like a keyboard, but the scale of these is quite large, so this would make the keyboard like way too big for the cake. So I think this one is out. So we're gonna probably use this one. The cake, I'll show you what I'm thinking about. Let's see, I'll pull it up a picture. Yes, 1 second. Oh, Sharky Plays. Yes, I remember you. Welcome back if you're still there. I know you messaged that a bit ago now, I see. But welcome back if you're still here. Thanks for checking in. Yes, so the Severance, if you haven't seen Severance, one of the greatest shows of all time. I say this to everybody, and because there's a little bit of everything. There's like mystery, intrigue, a little thriller element, like a little dark and mysterious, like what's going on here, sci-fi element also, but sci-fi in like the concept, the overarching, you know, technological concept that prevails through the whole part of the show. That's kind of like the central moral question, like, is this advancement in technology, like, should this be used? Is it inhumane? Is it, anyway, excellent acting, excellent actors. That whole TikTok or Instagram trend of the theme song, but someone just saying Mike is hot, Helly's hot, Dylan's hot, all of them are hot. Anyway, no, but just a great cast. Listening to the like production podcast about it, also very interesting. How they'd made certain creative decisions is really cool. And also what I really love is they're leaving, so far at the end of season 2, no spoilers of course, they're leaving like an air of mystery. One of my least favorite things is when something starts out so mysterious and you're like, what's going on here? And then gradually, you know, they reveal more and more and more until you're like, oh, well, that wasn't all that I thought it was gonna be, kind of, you know? Like, I know that like probably the air of possibility of what could be is always gonna be more tantalizing and intriguing than like when someone finally does spell it out for you. But I think they're doing a good job of leaving, you know, a sort of shroud of uncertainty around some parts of the show without just, you know, giving you all the answers all at once. It's like gradual. It's more exciting that way. They're not just like, here you go, this is the whole concept, this is what's going on kind of thing. Great show. Like I said, it's a little bit of everything. There's like also like a little bit of comedy and romance in there too. I wouldn't say that those are the main themes. There's like, it's just got everything, man. It's like every episode that came out, I was like, what's gonna happen next? And then a friend of mine, or like me and my partner, we would be like, wait, so do you think this means this? What do you think about this part of the show? It's very much that kind of show where you're trying to kind of unravel everything. So the main characters work in an office space, and their tech in the office looks like outdated. The show also might be set in like the past, like not current 2027, 26 time, because all the cars are older, so it's not, I don't know if they've explicitly said, but like I would say at least like the 90s or something like that. But here is what the central, like their desktop computer type modem things look like. So kind of old fashioned in a way, lots of navy blue. Let me turn up the brightness on my phone. Here we go. So the screen display, like dark, and then the light letters display on top of that. But the keyboard is what we're looking at right now. So there's a lot of negative space on the keyboard. So I need the keys to be pretty small, or else the keyboard is gradually gonna get like super massive. So it looks like the section where all the keys are aligned is like 3, 4, about 16-ish keys across. Then there's like a 2 gap space, then 3, so that's 5, so 16, 21, then 2 more, 23, 25, and then about 5. So 30, roughly, if we use this as the unit of measurement for the length of the keyboard, it needs to be like 30 across. So I'm going to kind of roughly see how long this one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So even these, I think this mold is gonna be too big too, because this is, what did I say, 16 across. So if I make it to scale by using one of these as the keys, it's gonna be double the size. I definitely need something smaller, which probably means we're gonna be making the keys by hand. I thought I could get away with using a nice mold. Alas. Okay. Well, okay. That I'm gonna have to do a little planning on. So let's make Gandalf instead. That will probably have to happen later. Let's see, what today is? Thursday. I stream on Sunday night US time. I'm just going off US time because that's where I think most of the viewers are. So Thursday and Sunday. We might come back to the keyboard on Sunday night after I've had time to plan it out, because that was kind of my main plan there. So we'll figure that out. And then, yeah, I'll probably be working on the Severance cake Sunday night and the following Thursday night of next week, because it has to be done for Friday of that week my time. So which is actually, I do these on Friday during the day, but it's nighttime Thursday time. Anyway, ramble. That's what we're looking at for this week. Yeah, but that one will be fun because I'm gonna try to do like the computer monitor part. I'm gonna try to do that all in buttercream. There is one slight hiccup of the structure of the cake, but we can get into that later. I'm gonna fill up my piping bag for our Valentine's Day cake. We need this like nice hot pink, bright pink frosting like you see on the conversation charts. It's almost like pinky red. It's so bright pink that's like almost red. Hey Proto, I actually brought my water back here today. I didn't have my water bottle, but I brought a cup. So thanks so much. Yeah, everybody else drink water too. Stay hydrated. It's good for you. Had my coffee this morning, so that's good. I went to sleep. I tried to go to sleep early last night, but by the time I was ready to settle down, I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 12:30. When I got home, I had planned to go to bed early, but then I made dinner. I just cooked up some like taco meat, like ground beef taco meat, nothing crazy. And I had to get a shower and wash my hair, and then I was working on a project for class, and so I was just like, it's so late now. I don't know where the time went. Yeah. But class went well this week. I'm doing, for those of you who have just joined us, I'm taking a drawing and tattoo design class. So I actually got to, last week, started with some drawing assignments, just pencil and paper. Then Wednesday of last week, I got to pull out my gun and pull some lines on one of those fake little mats. It's just like made out of silicone. And so, you know, you're gonna do a lot of practicing on other materials before you start using skin, obviously. But this week, another drawing assignment. And then I also got to do circles. And then yesterday I got to practice packing, which is when you try to fill shape in with a solid color and make the color look even across the whole shape. And then the latter half of yesterday, I got to try shading. Shading is gonna be a challenge, but I'm excited for it. I did a couple repetitions of it and it got a little better each time, but you know, I still got a long ways to go. I was also, the instructor came by and he was like, oh, shade it like a flat circle. I was kind of shading it like a sphere because I was coming in like curved. And I was like, oh shoot, okay. Because you're supposed to just have a gradient basically. You're not supposed to be shading the circle to make it look 3D. You're supposed to just be trying to fade the color as evenly from light to dark as possible. So I think that's what I'll work on next week. It's a holiday though over here this weekend and the early part of next week. So it's Lunar New Year. They call it Solal in Korean. And yeah, so Year of the Horse, welcoming in the new year, rather than, January. So this is one of their major holidays they take off. So technically, the studio academy that I'm studying at is closed, but they said you can come in and keep practice. Apparently, it's like, and they've said this before, like you can come in and practice anytime that you want to, as long as there's like an open desk, because they have, they have structured class times, but you can come in outside your class time to practice, which is cool. But yeah, really excited. I've also never taken like a proper drawing course. Like I did like art classes in high school and stuff. I never did any like post-secondary art training. Like I never took any proper like drawing focused classes. So I'm excited to really dig in and try to hone those skills. It's been something I wanted to do for a while, but I didn't really have direction on like, because I draw a lot all the time, but I mostly like doodle. I wasn't trying to do anything realistic. I wasn't really practicing principles and techniques of like classic art or anything like that. So I'm excited to, sharpen up those skills as well. And I think it'll all transfer. It's gonna be a long time before I can actually like tattoo a person, but I think it's a lot of skills that will transfer well into my cake decorating also, because I want to do some airbrush cakes in the future, and I'd also like to do more painted cakes and things. Hey April, welcome back. Hi. Yeah, so yeah, real excited that that's going well. All the instructors are great. I was a little nervous about starting like a new class, and I don't know, any situation where I have to meet a bunch of new people at one time, I always build it up in my head more than I need to. So I'm just relieved that it's all chill vibes in there. So it's cool. Everybody in there is so nice and so cool, and it's just a quiet environment. Everybody's working on their own thing. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be great. We got our piping bag ready. I need to give the cake a little more time so I can scrape off that top edge. Like I take the scraper and I hold it horizontally along the edge and just gently scrape off that top lifted kind of curvy extra frosting on top. But I know it needs an extra second. So we're gonna go ahead and get some stuff out for Gandalf. The only trouble is I haven't made the cake that Gandalf is going with yet. So making him to scale is going to be difficult because I kind of know what size it's going to be. So the max size it can be is as big as the shelf in my refrigerator, essentially. And I kind of want to go all out with this Hobbit cake or Lord of the Rings cake. It's going to be like I think the scene, so let me set the scene for you. It's going to be like Baggins, Bilbo Baggins' home. So it's going to be like, the little house set into the hillside, and then there's like his little path that comes down to the dirt road next to the little wooden log fence. And so I think it's gonna be like, here's the little road. I want to have like Gandalf next to his cart, or maybe he's just on foot. We'll see what I get up to. I have a while to work on this one. I don't need to have it completed for, I think, like roughly 2 months, so I really want to get into it. So like Gandalf and his cart will be down here. Maybe Frodo will be with him, kind of like the beginning of the Peter Jackson movies where that scene opens after the intro. And then like have the path, have the little gate, no admittance except on party business. Then like the little path that goes up to the door, and then surrounding that path I want to create little like garden features, like with some potted plants, some wild plants and stuff in his yard. And then of course Baggins, the door, the big circle door with the knob in the middle in green. And I think also probably in the book, but also in Peter Jackson's version, I'm pretty sure there's a tree on that hilltop. So that'll be fun. We have to make another tree. I've only done that a couple times. Making like a freestanding tree that isn't a like pine tree shape is a little tricky, so that'll be fun. Hi April, welcome back. Yeah, so Yeah, because if you think about it, you know, one stalk and then something that's more wide at the top, it could be a little off kilter as far as gravity goes. But what I've had some success with is making the tree stalk out of modeling chocolate nice and sturdy. Then you choose something lighter for the branches and leaves on the tree. And there's this cool technique that I've seen people do, and I tried it out myself, using chunks of like a real spongy cake, really light and fluffy, very spongy cake, and then you kind of strategically place that on, kind of like you would with like, I don't know, what is it when you're doing miniatures, the like flocking stuff on like a miniature, I don't know. Anyway, so you strategically place the sponge cake to represent like each cluster of leaves, each clump of branches on the tree. So we might try this time. I have made a bag end cake before for a friend of mine's birthday a really long time ago. I'm talking, this might have been 2015, maybe. So for her birthday, she's a super Lord of the Rings fan. She has been since we were like in 4th grade together. Before that, you know. I just think of 4th grade in particular because that was the year that the Lord of the Rings Valentines cards were big at our elementary school. So she wanted, every year for her birthday, she watches all 3 movies. She might even do the extended version. She's crazy like that, you know. Anyway, she watches all 3 movies that day or that weekend, and she ordered a custom little Hobbit cake from me. And it turned out really cute. But I think it would be fun to do like a side-by-side. I could pull up that picture and then we could be like, you know, recreating this cake from 10 years ago versus now. I think that would be cool. I love it when you see other artists, like in whatever the media might be. I love it when you see other artists do that. And just kind of like, look how much I grew and look at how my style has changed or what skills I've developed. So I think we're gonna do that. Also, guys, sorry, that was loud. Also, look how big my hands look. That cake, my partner posted it on Twitter and tagged Elijah Wood in it, and he liked it. He like, you know, hit the heart button on it. I was like, wow, Elijah Wood liked my Hobbit cake. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like one of the best days of my life kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, so that's the plan for that cake, just to kind of give you all the backstory, the lore, as it were, on the Hobbit build cake, or the Lord of the Rings build cake. I'm calling it the Hobbit cake because it's in Hobbiton. Yes, am I depicting the initial scenes of the Lord of the Rings movies? Yes, but it's the Hobbit cake is what I'm going for. It's got Frodo in it, so it's not technically the Hobbit cake, but yeah, that'll be fun. Anyway, yeah, I guess give it another minute for the cake that's in the fridge. Let's grab what we need for Gandalf. So, I might go grab one of my shelves. I'm literally thinking about this. I might grab one of my shelves from my fridge or the cake board that fits in there so I can do it sort of to scale, because I don't want, I mean, it'd be fine if like Gandalf's kind of his own thing and he's just like a centerpiece kind of thing that's off to the side of the cake, like if for some reason he's way off of scale. But I would like to make him, like, give myself the best chance of making him to scale as possible. So let me grab the cake board that I anticipate using for bag end. And that'll kind of, yeah, guide me and help me get a better idea of how tall Gandalf needs to be. So, 2 seconds, grabbing that, and I'll be right back with the modeling chocolate. And I got the fondant here already, but I forgot to grab the modeling chocolate because I threw that in the fridge. Oh boy, sleepy. I need more coffee, y'all. More coffee sounds good. I could make a cup. I have instant coffee. It's actually quite good. I always thought instant coffee was gonna be kind of like meh, but I don't know. I'm kind of liking it. I also like the zero thought that I have to put into it is nice. Okay, let's see then. Yeah, let me grab the cake board and make sure that my big like quarter sheet cake board can fit into the fridge shelf, because that'll be important to know ahead of time, or if I need to cut down a board to make it like a custom size, that's also possible. My husband, my partner, he was talking about making, sorry. He was like, why don't you make it as big as a table? That would be a really great thumbnail for, where are you? There you are. Hold on. Yes, this is a big one, but I think this is too big for the fridge now. Let's see then. Bear with me. Just checking to see if this fits in the fridge. It's too long, I think. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, this is too big, so I'm gonna have to cut these quarter sheet cakes down. The board for the quarter sheet, I'm gonna have to cut it down a bit so that it fits in the fridge. Not a worry, but it's not the best. Also, you don't want like the cut edge of these boards to look rough, so I might have to like cut it and then wrap it in parchment or foil just so that like, it looks nice. Or if you cut them and then you stack a couple of them, you can wrap a ribbon around the edge of the board. Like I do that with the cake drums as well. It's just a nice finishing touch, and you don't necessarily, sometimes it doesn't matter, but you don't necessarily want the cardboard, the corrugated part of the cardboard exposed. Depending on the event, you might want to class it up a little bit. So I'm thinking, just so it's nice and sturdy, because this is going to be kind of a heavy cake, we will do probably like a triple stack board like this, and then we could wrap a ribbon around the edge after the cake is done to finish it so that, you know, it looks nicer. It definitely looks nicer. That's a must anytime I do a wedding cake. You like pick a color to match, or you can just grab a nice white colored ribbon. It's the little things. Okay, so the refrigerator shelf is about, comes to right here-ish. Oh, you can't see my finger, can you? Yes, you can, it's right here. So yeah, so we're gonna have to trim this one a little bit, but this is generally the size. So if Gandalf is gonna be, he's gonna be in the foreground also, so he needs to be probably, what is that, 3.5 to 4 inches tall. That's pretty good. And then Frodo will be like smallish beside him. I might have them standing next to the cart, because I'm probably gonna have to make that separately. Yeah, so Gandalf will probably be standing. The cart might be a bit of a challenge. We may or may not have time to make it. We'll see. We're gonna start with Gandalf though, because yeah, we'll start with Gandalf. His base is gonna be modeling chocolate. Shoe, let's do that. And then I'll cover his clothes and his face. His face should also be white modeling chocolate, ideally. I do think I have some. Yeah, I should still have some. And yeah. Oops, sorry. Noisy stool. Also, my partner said I apologize too much on this stream. It's mostly when I think that I've made a really loud noise, but he's like, nah, it didn't come in, you're fine. I was like, oh, okay. I just am worried sometimes about how close some of the sounds I'm making are to the microphone, so if I would just randomly say sorry, it's probably because I bumped something, and you probably didn't hear it because I was being, you know, a little obsessive or something, I don't know. All right, going to warm up a nice chunk of Almond chocolate for this. I'm also going to zoom in the camera a little bit because since he's gonna be smaller, you need to like see right here. And I'll zoom it back out when we grab the cake and we finish off the cake. So no worries there. Let's center it up a little bit. Check the chat. Oh, check the battery. Battery should be good. It just got started. But let me flip the display around. That's the main thing. So that I can see it once I get busy. Because I tend to get distracted a bit. All right. Yeah, we're still good. We've got like half power roughly. But while I'm up, excuse me, I will zoom in the camera a bit. Warning. You'll get motion sickness, I hope. Okay. And we'll tilt it down just a touch, I think. Bear with me momentarily. Yeah, maybe move it up and then tilt it down. It's a different lens on here today, but I think it should be fine. Okay, and tilt it. Gently tilt it. Firmly grasp it. It probably is going to lurch forward, just fair warning. Okay, tilty, tilty, just a little bit. Like so. Okay. And focus ring. Hang on, I need something to focus on. Make sure it's not all blurry and stuff once I get in there. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, let's see. Here comes Gandalf time. Oh, I guess I should update the title. Yeah, I'll update the title to say Valentine's Day cake and Gandalf. Real quick. Where are you? Twitch. Yep. There we go. Title. Scene collection. You know what? It's fine. Okay. Make this bigger. Move this over. Oh my gosh, yes, Sarah, this is your cake. Whoops. I just now saw that was your name. I'm so sorry. Always slacking on checking the YouTube chat. My bad. If you're still here, you're probably gone now. But yeah, this is your cake. My bad, girl. Yeah. Okay. So we're zoomed in. I need to maybe zoom. We'll play around for a minute down here, and then we'll adjust the camera if necessary. Okay. Alrighty. This is my very own batch of Malling chocolate. It turned out excellent. And let me tell you, this dark chocolate, Malling chocolate tastes way better. First of all, way better than fondant. Fondant is just a little too sweet for me. But this tastes even better than like the store-bought pre-made Malling chocolate that I've tried. It's delicious. It's like, yes, you add a little corn syrup to the dark chocolate for the texture to get it to be malleable, you know, because think about chocolate at room temperature. It's solid, you know. The corn syrup is not solid at room temperature, so you add a little corn syrup to the chocolate. The ratio is different for dark chocolate than it is for milk chocolate or, you know, a white chocolate or candy melts. And it gives it like that elasticity. You think about corn syrup, it's gooey and stretchy. But yeah, the ratio is different because of the... Oh, you're still here. Okay, yes, it's your cake. It's gonna be ready anytime. We just have to write your excellent message on it. Yeah. I didn't see that was your name in the chat. I was like, oh my God, it's Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. My one and only Valentine's Day order, but it's the best order, so perfect. I was thinking about just making all the different colors of conversation hearts for fun, but then I was like, what am I gonna do with all those cakes? So there we go. Yeah. We're getting the Molly chocolate. Oh, what I was saying was, so the shield cake I made last week for Sir Duncan's shield from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We ended up eating it. I came home, I came home from class a day or two after I had made it and was really hungry for something sweet. And I was like, there is that cake in the fridge. My husband was gonna take it to work and see, slice it up for people. Tried it with the Molly chocolate. It's so yummy. So, I started talking about corn syrup and I went off on a tangent. So yes, it starts with dark chocolate, but then you add the corn syrup to it and it's not as bitter, but then at that point, it basically just tastes like a nice, like semi-sweet milk chocolate flavor. I would say even semi-sweet, not like sweet. So it just really balances it out to be just a nice, it's still like a good, like bitter chocolate flavor. And we ate it cold. I do think, and I always recommend whenever I have buttercream cakes, I recommend people take them out of the refrigerator, like depending on the time of year or whatever, like an hour before you're going to eat them, because I use real butter in the frosting. So it chills pretty firmly. So it's still delicious when it's cold, but the texture is a little like smoother when it's come to room temperature. Same thing I think for the modeling chocolate. We ate it just like straight out of the fridge. Still delicious, but I was like, I bet it would be even better if I had let it sit out for a minute, take the chill off of the cake before eating it. But I'm really pleased because I've made this a couple times. This was the only time that it came out really smooth. Like before, I think I undermixed it the first 2 times I made it, but this time it came out smooth and lovely and was really fun to work with. And so I was like, oh, I'll try it. I want to see what it tastes like with the cake. And it was great. So I think modeling chocolate's the way to go. I don't know if I'll like white modeling chocolate though. I know it's really the cocoa that's doing the heavy lifting here for me flavor-wise. But yeah, I would definitely eat a modeling chocolate cake before. Also, it was a nice, again, it's all about the proportions. It was a nice thin layer of chocolate to the ratio of like buttercream and cake on the cake, so I'm a fan. Yeah, oof. She is solid though when it's at room temperature. You gotta get it, you gotta work it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's not gonna be super huge, so I don't need a lot of the modeling chocolate for his structure, Gandalf, because some of the bulk of his character is gonna be made up by his robes. So that's always something to think about when creating sculpted fondant figurines or whatever. Like you have to think about how many final layers, like how many layers you're gonna have on the finished piece, especially if it's something with like clothing or armor or fur or whatever the case may be. The main like center structure of your character starts out quite a bit thinner because you gotta bulk it up as you add different layers. So, and I want to add a decent layer of fondant so I can like use one of my carving tools and make some indentions here and there for like sort of draping wrinkles on his cloak or his robes and stuff. So yeah. And then the book, he has, oh, trivia time. What color is Gandalf's hat? Yeah, what color is Gandalf the Grey's hat, y'all? Also, did you know what's his other accessory he's supposed to be wearing in the book? Like his signature accessory. I'll wait for y'all to guess. He's Gandalf the Grey, but let me tell you right now, it's not gray. Not his hat or his other mystery accessory. Ugh. I need to start doing polls in chat. That'll be fun. Once we get like more viewers all together, we're gonna have to do some polls and some stuff like that. Oof. I'm so excited. We've been tossing ideas back and forth again. And me and my husband are both excited about the idea of doing Is It Cake live on Twitch so people can actually like vote on which cake it's gonna be, obviously. So the plan is I'll film myself making the cake ahead of time, edit that and post it on YouTube, because like I can't show you guys me making it on Twitch or else you'll know which one it is, obviously. So we're going to do that, and there'll be a separate video on YouTube after it's done, so it'll be like, see if I can fool Twitch chat. It'll be really fun trying to get people to vote and guess. I think it's an excellent idea for the future. Maybe that'll be like the, I don't know, 100 subscribers thing or whatever. Well, we have like 5 subscribers right now. Maybe we'll do it sooner. Maybe it'll be like the 50 subscriber mark. We'll decide on that and I'll like post it as a goal or something. So, but it'll be so fun to do like a little live event where people can participate. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Okay, this is finally where I need it to be. You don't want to get it too hot because then if I try to like build a structure, he'll just kind of flop over. That happened on the Vecna cake I was making for the channel. I was trying to like knead the white chocolate. The white chocolate has more like more cocoa butter ratio to, there's no cocoa really in it, than this. So there's like more of the fat solids in the white chocolate, so it heats up more easily and more quickly than this one does. Anyway, so I was sculpting like some of Vecna's like shoulder spikies, and yeah, I got the fondant too warm, or the Molly chocolate too warm, and so I like built it up and it kind of went and gradually gave up on life. Ha, yeah. Okay, so Gandalf, we're gonna make the base a little wider. I mentioned this last time that Gandalf's kind of like figurines on easy mode because he has a robe. You don't have to make individual legs for him, which is a real treat. So yes, we're gonna have a nice flared base at the bottom of his robe situation, so he'll be nice and sturdy and easy to work with. Yeah, so this is literally him. Oh, this will be handy. I can make it over here, and then when I want to give you a sneak peek, I can swing him around to the front. How silly. Okay, and we'll make his hat and like his head separately. So the modeling chocolate part of his structure, I guess, is just gonna kind of come up to shoulder or chest height. And yeah, I want to keep him kind of small because I want the scale of things to work out to where he fits into the little hobbit world. Like I said, I think I can get away with him being a little bigger. If he's in the foreground, it'll kind of just like be like, oh yeah, he's in the foreground, and then Bilbo's house is set towards the back of the cake board. But still, I want him to be not gigantic, which is a challenge. The smaller the figurine, the harder it is to get the details to work right. But yeah, here we go. Squishy, squishy, moldy, moldy. Not moldy. Not moldy chocolate. Molding chocolate. Yes. Okay, and then I'm gonna kind of flatten his shoulders. So if this is his front, the shoulders need to, like his chest needs to be a little flatter than his waist, I guess. Oh, so back to the trivia. He He has a hat. It's not gray. His hat is actually blue in the book. Gandalf's hat is blue, and then his fun mystery extra accessory that I was talking about is a scarf, and it's supposed to be silver. Gandalf wears a blue hat and a silver scarf in the book. That's how they describe it. I'm looking for my scissors. Oh, well, here's these ones. And yeah. I mean, he doesn't have a silver scarf in the movie, but he does. I'm pretty sure, like, if you look closely, his hat is just a really weathered blue color. I could be wrong, but yeah, because I always thought, you know, his hat was just gray in the movies because he's Gandalf the Grey. Make him have a nice little indent around his waist. It's gonna be pretty thin because the fondant that we build up, like I said, is gonna bulk him out a little bit, but he looks real snatched right now. It's got that hourglass figure going on. We'll also, this one will be kind of cool too because he'll have his little staff, and that'll kind of be another point of contact for his arm, which will be good. Yeah. Oh, thanks for following, Smiling Sunny. Welcome. So I put the alerts in OBS. I don't know if they're coming up on screen for you guys. Let me see if they're coming up on screen here. Rats. I don't know if they worked. Let me know if it worked. If not, I gotta go back in and figure out what happened. So for OBS, the streaming platform, if you're not just streaming directly to Twitch, you have to like copy the URL in there. I thought I did it right, but I didn't see it pop up. So it might not have worked. I don't know. I got the notice, obviously, but I don't know if it came up on screen like it was meant to. Because I made a new subscriber alert. I animated the crap out of it, and so I wanted that to work for sure because I spent a lot of time on it. Okay, where's my extra nubbin? We're going to go ahead and build one of his arms. Also, like I said, this one will be holding the staff, so that one's actually going to be really easy because his arm's going to be out and it's going to be supported by the staff. And I guess the other arm's just going to be kind of hanging out his side, so that's pretty easy too, actually. Gandalf's just really making my life easy. Thanks, Gandalf. You're a real one. Yeah. So this is what we're working with right now, so you can see it. It just looks like a little chocolate dress, honestly. Yeah. Cool beans. It is what it is. Yeah, and I'd like to, so in the past, I've used floral wire to support like the arms of sculptures and stuff. And as long as you tell people in there, it's like fine and stuff, like, hey, pull off the arms before you let anybody bite into your guy. But more and more, I'd just like to get to the point where I can make sturdy character sculptures that don't require any internal supports. That's not always going to be the case, and also you have to consider, like, is this cake going out for delivery, or am I hand delivering it? Am I handing it off to a customer? If you're handing off to a customer, you want to like basically make it as foolproof as possible. So I'm always going to advocate for structure in those kind of cakes, because you don't know how gentle people are going to be when they take off with your little creation. You gotta prepare for the worst, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. If you're delivering the cake, or if you're delivering it and assembling it on site, like with a wedding cake, then you can make your own decisions about that kind of stuff. Or if perhaps you're making it for, you know, just for streaming, the cake doesn't have very far to go. That's essentially the same as like assembling it on site, as it were. But yeah, just always little things to think about. The person that this cake is for is like, I'm talking a big Lord of the Rings fan, like he's read the Silmarillion, so I'm thinking we're gonna go like for Gandalf's design. I'm like, we're gonna go as accurate as possible, I suppose. Just for funsies. I should like reread. Look how skinny his arms are. They're just little nubbins. They're gonna be better once, first of all, once this chocolate sets back up, this will be pretty firm. And then also, once we add his sleeves and stuff, it'll be pretty cool too. But yeah, today's stream will be a little more chill. I think it'll be a little shorter than usual. Up until now, I've streamed for 4 hours plus each time. Yeah, 4 and then to 6 and 7 hours. It's definitely not going to be a 6 and 7 hour day is what I'm getting at. It's going to be a little bit more chill today. But yeah, next week's streams are going to be fun. They're a little more in depth than today. Oh, also, I ended up cutting and saving the charging chuck cake because it was Thursday my time, so we were rolling into the weekend. Was that Thursday? No, that was Monday. But then we had the day off because somebody took the day off for football. But yeah, we didn't end up eating that cake, and since I had already cut it in half for the video, what I did is I took those two halves, slid them side by side, so now we have a fun like curved sort of dome shape to work with. So we're going to turn that into another design in the future. But yeah, I had just sent that big cake to work, and I didn't find anybody else in the need of cake that day. So we're going to repurpose that cake, which is fine. You know, scrape the frosting and reuse it for another design on stream. Yeah, so it's in the freezer till then. I think that'll be good. I don't want to waste food, and I can use it again in the future for a different design. Obviously, it's not going to be a cake that I like repurpose and like sell to a paying customer. That's not the vibe. But yeah, you can use it again for a cool design in the future. Yeah, and also, it's good that like buttercream stores for so long. You can freeze buttercream also. I usually just make it fresh because I only make it in small batches now. But yeah, buttercream freezes really well, which is nice if you make like a big batch and you have some left over. You know, just wrap it up right away, nice and airtight, freeze it. And it's like you have to bring it to room temperature either way to work with it. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I really want my sprinkles to come in that I ordered. I think I ordered like 2 pounds of rainbow sprinkles, so that's fun. Okay, Gandalf, this is what we're working with so far. His little arm comes off to the side here. We could make his little gnarled staff also. And it'll start out this chocolate color, but we're probably going to paint him. That's another good point. I could make his whole figurine out of modeling chocolate and then just put a light color of buttercream paint on top. That might be the play. We might make like his hat out of fondant, but if we make his face out of this chocolate, it gives me more time to sculpt the features before he dries, because like fondant dries out kind of quickly. If you're making a lot of details, it takes a while. So yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll just make him and sculpt him out of modeling chocolate and then paint him. That seems like the better idea anyway. I could add like his belt and like his scarf and beard and fondant, but like I feel like his main features might as well just be modeling chocolate. I'm changing my idea on the fly. Was it in sports calling inaudible? We're doing that. How's our battery life, y'all? Battery life is good. Cool. I'm thinking ahead about the cowboy cake because the whole cake is covered in rope. Yeehaw. That means we're gonna have to bust out our extruder tool. This guy is the best. You put a different die on here, and then you load it up with fondant and twist it out, and then it extrudes it through whatever the hole shape is that you put on the die. Yeah, that's gonna be real handy for for making all that rope instead of trying to roll it by hand and watching it dry out in front of your eyes. That's the best extruder I've found for like fondant and modeling chocolate so far, because I had like a kind of, I don't know what you would call it, ratchet action one, like you gripped it, the handle, and it would squeeze it like another notch and then another notch and another notch. But eventually the plastic part of the handle broke. I feel like if they had made the whole thing out of metal, like this one is metal, that one would be my favorite. Also, you get that kind of squeezing workout action. I'm like, oh yeah, my wrists are so strong. No, but this design, this one's totally made out of metal, so it's really sturdy. But you twist this instead to, you know, squeeze it out. This one's really good. People use this type of thing for like polymer clay jewelry also. Well, like polymer clay in general and different things like that. Pretty sick. I've enjoyed it. That's the one I like the best so far. It's gonna be a lot of rope. It's gonna be, I think she asked if like which size I thought was better, a 6-inch or an 8-inch for like 15 to 20 people. I'm like, I mean, if you're going the tall route, because it's a pretty tall cake, the design she sent me. And also it has a hat on top, and the hat could be made out of cake instead of like Rice Krispies. Anyway, all that to say, I was like, I would recommend the 6-inch for that many people. But even still, like you gotta cover the entire circumference over and over again. The entire exterior of the cake is like rope all the way from the bottom to the top. I also think that design would look cute if it was just like a rope border that went a couple times around the bottom, but I mean, if she wants it to look like the photo, then it's gonna go all the way to the top. But yeah, personally, I was like, maybe just like the bottom border, like a couple rows. I feel like that's, and then you have like a little negative space to play with, and that's where the name's gonna go on the side of the cake. But yeah, should be cool. And then so the design is, the cake is covered in rope. There's like a cowboy hat on top and a bandana kind of hanging over the edge of the top of the cake by the cowboy hat. He uses little staff. You see? We're going to, the sample she showed me just had some random like polka dot patterns on their bandana. Ours, we're going to make it have, do I want this one? No, that's the one I grabbed. I'm looking for a fondant tool so I can carve a couple of grooves into the staff while it's soft. I'm not gonna get too crazy. I do want to make like the little, in Peter Jackson's movie, it has like a sort of like twisted, almost claw-like section at the top. Oh, we gotta change the battery. Hang on one second. It's blinking at me. One moment, please. Stand by. Stand by. I guess we can zoom it in a little bit more also, because I'm about to start doing fondant things and you'll be able to see Gandalf better. Okay, 1 second. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, desktop audio went down. Hang on, let me get the desktop audio back. Oh, there it is. Hang on, let me double check it though, because last time I thought it started back up and then it was dead the whole time. And I was like, wow, how fun was it to sit in dead silence while I make a cake? Well, pull this up really quick. I got my headphones on, so I'm just gonna check it. Actually, they're hooked up to my phone. So I'm gonna check the audio really quick before we start going again. 2 seconds. Be-do-dee-do-dee-do. Oh, sleepy. I need more coffee. It wasn't my usual dose of espresso, I guess. I guess so. Okay, hang on. Okay, the music is playing. And it's a little quiet, but I guess that's all right. It's chill. Yeah, I don't want to go too high. We're gonna stick with that. Okay, back to what we were doing. Battery needs a water break. Good call. Thanks, Mian. Daiso purchase. It had a cute little bear and a cat on it, so obviously I got it. Also, I feel like this is my ideal cup size. What is this, 16 ounces, 20 ounces? I don't know. We have some shorter cups, but this one and this other one that are about the same size is my favorite. I should make some tea later. It's nice. It's an excellent size. I have nothing but good things to say about it. It's a good size. I do just grab a mug sometimes for water. Also, I feel like it's a little heavier. I'd be less likely to like flick it off the table. I've usually been bringing my water bottle back here, but it was in my backpack and I didn't wash it last night. So we got a teddy bear cup instead. Here we go, little staff. Okay, it's a little more solid now. It was a little floppy, so it's a good thing we took a break from it. And so I can carve in some wood details. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Live in Toronto, you don't have Daiso. Oh, excuse me. That's so sad. I like Daiso. I hadn't been there before I visited, or before we moved here. They didn't have one in my area to my knowledge, but I feel like they're getting more and more of them. Maybe one will be coming to you soon. I saw them in Japan also, but I don't think I went into one in Japan. No, I think I've only been to the ones in Korea. I've been to several here though. Here, we're gonna zoom in a tiny bit and work on his staff for a minute, and then we're gonna go grab the cake shortly and we'll fix the tippy top of the cake. Okay, zooming slowly. Oh, that's as far as it goes. I forgot we're doing a different lens. Well, ladies and gents and everybody else, we'll just scoot the camera in. Sorry, that's as good as I can do today for the zoom currently. That's all right. At least let's try to make it in focus. Hang on, sorry. Don't worry about that. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, that's a little more crisp, I think. Well, up front it is. I guess I'm gonna be working in the back area. Okay. You know what? I'll just orient myself towards the front of the cake table. That way you can see better. I'll reach across it. I feel like I went too far now. Tricky. Okay. Sorry. I'm just gonna fiddle with it for eternity. While I'm up, grab my carving tools. They're over here. And a fresh buttercream scraper so we can do the tippy top of the cake when we go grab it. I mean, that one was fresh. It just has frosting all over it now, and I want a clean one for the next part. Okay, staff. We're going to just do some little wooden details. He's setting up, so that's good. Yeah, so we're just gonna like kind of make them a little twisty, because his staff, not a cane, just has some cool, very natural wooden things going on. It's not like as polished and crazy as Saruman's. His is probably like made out of metal, just based on the look of it. Yeah. I told you to take the wizard's staff. We can't get into it. We can't get into me talking and quoting Lord of the Rings, or it's going to devolve into a Gollum impression, and nobody needs that. Yo. So yeah, just making some little grooves. Nothing too crazy, but making like a little wood grain situation. It'll be better. Hang on, I haven't really got going yet. I want some of them to be pretty deep, because his staff is all gnarled and very natural looking. Yeah. This will be cute. I don't know if I'll do the whole Hobbit cake on stream, because like I mentioned before, like doing the tiny detail stuff, I know it doesn't film quite as well. Until we get the top-down cam and the face cam situation sorted out, I feel like some of those more like tiny detail type cakes are going to just continue to be like a long form edited video that I post on YouTube, just for best viewing purposes, I guess. What is one baking decorating gadget that you can't live without? Ooh, gadget. I mean, my mixer, obviously, but I feel like that's like not like a gadget per se. But yeah, I do love my stand mixer. That is for sure, for sure. I wouldn't. I'd be quite lost without her. That would be sad. Other than that, let's see. I mean, there's definitely the essentials, like an angled spatula. Wouldn't be doing a whole lot of cakes without one of them. And then wouldn't be doing a lot of very smooth cakes without one of these. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the big three, I guess. Gadget though, I mean, when it comes to fondant stuff, that extruder comes in handy a lot, I must say, for getting nice, consistent little shapes. Then besides that, for buttercream, yeah, I guess I gotta go scrapers, because you're not gonna get a real nice smooth cake without a solid scraper. I would like to one day on stream do a cool buttercream stripe cake, because I can show you some of my textured scrapers and how you put those to use. Those are sick. Because you think like, oh, stripes, you can only do that on a fondant cake, right? Wrong. You can do buttercream stripes, and it's the most satisfying thing. I say this like it's like a huge revelation. It was for me at the time. I was like, what? Those are buttercream stripes? How do you even begin? You basically, it's sort of reductive. Like you take away from the existing frosting. You frost a cake in one color and you scrape it down with a comb that has like a square shaped teeth on it. So it cuts out, leaves a square crisp groove on the cake. And then you go back, fill it in with another color, and then use a smooth scraper over the top to be sure that the color that you inserted is like level with the white or base color frosting you used. And then it comes out to a really cool pattern. And there's different ones like with different thickness of stripes, and then also ones like, I love it when people do an alternating color and then fill in the stripes with like rainbow color or multicolor. Such a cool effect. It also looks really cool with black, but with black frosting, you have to like be more precise. You have to scrape it down just right, because obviously it smears if you're doing too much. Can you see the texture? It's starting to come through. I'm going to be a little more forceful with some of the grooves once I, you know, get my groove on. Dumb. Stupid. yeah, this is like one tiny detail of the massive cake, but it's gonna look nice. It's gonna be fun. And then of course we're gonna have to make little window boxes for the garden and little tiny pots for little tiny potted plants, and that's the stuff I live for. Making things tiny. Oh, like my friend, she's still there. Oh, I lost the YouTube chat. Hang on, y'all. YouTube chat is down. Here we go. Coming around. YouTube chat, I'm sorry, I lost you. I put you behind the thingy. And by that, I mean I had to pull up the stream manager and then I lost you for a second because you're behind. There you are. Okay, good. No activity. I didn't miss anything. Okay, good. God forbid I miss a comment. That would be so sad. Hang on. Pulling this a little bigger so I can see. Tight. Okay, we're back. We are so back. What is this one? Oh, that's okay. We're good. Y'all. I'm a little squirrely today. I don't know. I feel like my mind's all over the place today. It shouldn't be. It's like my Friday. You know, I should be winding down. But I feel like I have a lot of stuff I want to do this weekend. Projects and things that I want to tackle. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm already thinking about some of that stuff in my head. It should be a fun weekend. I gotta finish this one drawing assignment for class. I had to draw a mylar balloon, but like make it look realistic. I haven't drawn, like I said, I don't do a lot of realism. I do a lot of cartoony, doodly style stuff. Yeah, so I haven't drawn like realistic metallic texture or like realistic reflective surfaces, so it's fun. I'm already 3 hours in. It's coming along. If you look at it from a distance, you're like, oh yeah, that's a balloon. You look up at it you look at it up close. You're not like, which one's the photo and which one? So I got some work to do. Some of my shading, I need to go back and like lighten up some areas and stuff. Hopefully I'll get faster at that kind of thing. I mean, I know you gotta put in time, but I could be faster. I don't know if this is supposed to take everybody like 8 hours to finish one drawing. Yo, I'm learning. What the heck? It's fine. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna make the little, I don't know, gnarled twisty bits up top. I think I'm gonna like cut a groove into the top and then sort of shape the different sections that we create by snipping these. So like I'll cut this one down pretty far, and I want like this one to be thicker than that one. I don't want these to be super regular, but it's starting to make like a little claw shape up at the top. So that's cool. That's what we're going for. And then after I sort of just like pinch off these different sections, I can go in with the X-Acto knife and then kind of make the grooves more deliberate here and there. So we'll do that just to get started. Make some kind of wiggly, squiggly, like gaps between each of the little twisty branches up at the top. And like I said, going for very natural and irregular. Oh, I feel like I started talking about something earlier. Oh, I was talking about tiny things. My friend showed me Polly Pocket themed jewelry, and there was like a because I was talking about how excited I was for making all the little nature details in Bilbo's yard and stuff in his garden. And yeah, just talking about how much I love tiny stuff. My friend showed me a Polly Pocket themed jewelry. So cute. Like a little ring that's also a locket that opens up. Adorable. Who comes up with this stuff? Polly Pocket and Mighty Max. I know we lost the YouTubers. Sorry, I just saw you say, oh no, the YouTubers. Ugh. I feel like every time we kick off the chat with a really rude or aggressive comment, they're probably gone now, so I'm going to talk about it now because I'm not going to talk about it while I think they're still here, but they're probably gone by now. The first comment today says, you kick, I guess they're trying to say you suck. You kick and your cake looks stupid. I was like, what the hell, dude? Who hurt you? Yeah, but I wasn't going to talk about it while I thought they were still here. I'm not going to give them time of day. But now I will because I was honestly laughing inside about it. I didn't want to talk about it while I thought they could still be watching. I didn't want to give them this satisfaction. YouTube, get your crap together. Yeah, and then the other day, I'm not going to repeat what they said, but somebody hopped on there with some wild stuff. I was like, what is wrong with y'all? Why can't y'all be like Twitch? But then also that's where like, my dad popped up one time, and then like my mom-in-law and like my friend. I'm like, so it's like people that I know and love, and then absolute crazy strangers. And then a random sprinkling of nice strangers also. Those would be sick cake ideas. If we were doing Polly Pocket, I'd have to get the zoom lens on the camera. We would be in there with like my little tiny tweezers, making little Polly Pockets and painting their faces and their hair on. That would be so cute. Yeah. That is so rude. Am I right? Like, what the hell? And I know it's not about me. You just came on here and you were trying to start something. But still, don't come at me with that. That's ridiculous. Bananas. Oh boy. Yeah, but that was like forever ago, so I feel like it's okay if I mentioned it now. They don't get any kind of reaction out of me. I know they're not still there. They just dropped in to try and hurt somebody's feelings. Not me, not today. Maybe another day when I'm feeling sensitive and vulnerable. Not today. There we go. Starting to come together. I need to get in there and like pinch some of the rough edges out, and I want to make them a little more, hang on, I want to make them a little more like zigzaggy. Right now they're all just kind of pointing in the same direction. Some of them I want them to kind of curve and twist a little bit. I know, why are you trying to start beef with me? We got pink glowy lights and chill music. You can't faze me like that. It's not that serious. If I cared enough, I'd figure out how to kick you out, but we're not to that point yet, where it's like a real problem. So silly. Sometimes I'm like, man, I love the internet, and other times I'm like, what happened? Why are we like this? Yeah, ridiculous. It just made me want to do a snort laugh. I don't know if y'all heard that, but when I was, no, because I pulled up the YouTube before I had pulled up Twitch, so you probably did not hear me snort, but I was trying to contain it. I was like, you can't do this. Oh, so silly. And it's like, fine, but like, do that on your own time. Okay, we're gonna pause here for now because I wanna finish the cake. It's been, I don't know, it's been like probably 20 or 30 minutes at least. The battery's nice and fresh, so I know I can get this next step done before I have to pause and do something like that. But yeah, so far I can roll this out a little thinner and make it, because it's quite tall now, I see. I don't think, well, no, because his hat's gonna come up to about here. So I think that's about right. It's at least like to his eye level or higher, I feel like, in the movie. But we'll keep shaping this and we'll work on Gandalf a little bit more. But right now, I want to finish our main project for today. Scraping and piping the message on the cake. The message is the only thing that goes on this cake, so it has to be perfect. It has to be centered. It can't be tilty. No pressure, but a little bit of pressure. Okay, Gandalf is firmly stuck on this cake turntable, which is good. I want him to be like stuck on there, so when I'm working on him, I'm not like pushing him over. So I'm gonna swap to the other cake table for the cake we are working on. Let me nudge my fondant things out of the way. And then we'll start back on our buttercream cake for the day. Here we go. Got a couple of crumblies. Oh boy. You have thousands of people in here, you need to get some mods for sure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was already like, ooh, who do I like mod? And I'm also like, I wanna look more about like, what is mod etiquette? Like, do you just mod people, or do you like ask them if they wanna be a mod? Or how does it work? Or you just like pick people? I know like typically you pick people based on like, you know, if they participate often and like, you know, if they seem trustworthy and they know how everything works or whatever. But as far as like the process of modding people, because I feel like, you know, when I've seen people do it, it's been on more established streams, so they have like mods that are modding other mods, kind of making the decisions. But I'm like, do I be like, is it like a proposal? Like, I'm like, will you be my mod? Anyway, so yeah, I like gotta look into mod etiquette. I know it's also like a responsibility, and maybe someone's like, I don't want to be the only guys, you know? Yeah, and it's also probably something once we have more people in here, you know, because it's a group effort. You don't want to just spring that on one person. I think I modded my partner, like yes, I think I did that last stream. He is now modded, but as far as other people who would like, yeah, like to take on the responsibility. I just wanted to like look more into like the etiquette of modding people in your stream, how that all works out. Okay, lovely, lovely. Let's go grab our cake. Just go by the vibes. You can always unmod them. That's why I was thinking. I'm like, it's not a big hairy deal. They can just, you know, go with the flow. See, you know, see what people feel like, and you can always undo it later. Did you drop a cake or something? No, I didn't drop a cake. We were just working on like a little fondant project while our main cake for the day chilled, because I wanted to chill it before I scrape the final edge off. So I'm about to go grab the cake and we'll do that. Then we'll write on top of it. I will also need this cake table because it's the tilting one, so I can kind of tilt it towards y'all so y'all can see the writing process on top of the cake a little better. But yeah, pardon me while I go grab the cake. Shoo-ba-da-ba-dee-bop. Oh boy. Oh, there's a kitty outside. Focus, Chelsea, focus. No. There's a neighbor cat that I spy on from the kitchen window. He's cute. I think he like roams the neighborhood, but the neighbor downstairs puts out food for him. So I see him down there a lot. Cake's back. Hi, Cake. Welcome back. All right. Forget about tilting. Just get an overhead mirror set up like cooking demos. Yeah, for real. I want to do that. Or also like I've seen other crafters, they'll have multicam. So they'll have one top-down cam and then they'll have one face cam. That is something that I want to do. Our instructor had one of those tables with the mirror set up. So like you could be looking, yeah, you could look in the mirror, would show like what they were doing on the cake. If you weren't like right up where you could see onto the table, you could be standing back and see cool stuff. Yeah, that'll be an upgrade for the future. Okay, good. We are focused on the cake. Now okay, I'm gonna scrape it like this and then we'll tilt it and then you can see better. Okay. All right, I just grabbed fresh scraper. Here we are. Get our buttercream bowl on deck for our excess frosting. And this guy nearby just in case. All right, so this is the trick I was telling you guys about. You let the top edge chill and then scrape it. You can also just like, while it's still soft, you can go through and like fold it down. There's multiple ways to do it. It's just whatever your preference is. And yeah, so it's nice and chill, so it comes off like that. So it comes off like in little chunks easily. And then the top is like nice and smooth where I scraped it. Because you're kind of like cutting into it more than smoothing it. So yeah, that's the vibe. Okay. And you want to be sure that you're holding your scraper level. You don't want to like tilt it and be like gouging down and make dips into it. You want it to be parallel with the top of the cake. Oops, we got a little curl. You're a curl. This one time at lunch, this was in high school, I was sitting with my sister and a friend or two of ours, and we were talking, and like somebody was looking on, I think my sister was looking on like a bag of Cheetos, like what's a serving? And it didn't say like grams or chips or like, 17 chips is a serving. It said 17 curls. And so we were just laughing because it said curls. And then someone was like, you're a curl. I don't know. It was dumb. But it was one of those things where you're like, man, I'm 15 and this is the funniest thing that's ever happened. But little packaging, things like that are always funny. That's like on goldfish, the goldfish cracker, the snack that smiles back goldfish, those kind of goldfish, on the package. If you look at the ingredients, you know what the #1 ingredient is? Smiles. So the ingredients say smiles and then it jumps into the, I'm like, does the FDA allow that? Or, whoever is in charge of that. Yeah, smiles and flour and cheddar cheese and blah, 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 blah. It's cute. Silly. What is life without a little whimsy? Am I right, goldfish? I do need a tall chef hat. Also, I have a funny bit next time Chef Mike is back here. Smiles and then sugar as the first ingredient is always best. Yeah, sugar and then corn syrup. You're like, good. I'm glad I know where I stand with this snack. No two ways about it. Yeah, I do like a cheesy snack. Goldfish are good. Cheese nips and Cheez-Its. I don't really see cheese nips anymore. I don't think they're a thing, but they were good. Cheez-Its are fire also. They're not like great for you or whatever, but like if we're snacking, who cares? Yeah. Scrapey, scrapey, scrapey. This is one of those things where I'm like, the simpler the cake, the more difficult it is actually, because every little mistake is visible. I was talking about that in class this week because they were handing out drawing assignments and they gave the person next to me a cylinder and then they gave me the Mylar balloon and then they said something about like, wow. I'm like, that really took me down a peg seeing what they gave me versus what they gave you. And I literally said that, like at first I was like, oh, don't say that. But I was like, I don't know though, because like, I feel like the fundamentals and like, yeah, the simpler a design is, the more perfect it has to be. Like you can't get away with as many like little mistakes here and there because it's all out there in the open. But also comparison is the thief of joy. Can't be comparing yourself to other people all the time. Easier said than done though. I am definitely a culprit of that as well. It's one thing to say, another thing to do it. I get it. Also, we're at like different, we're on different weeks of the course, so I'm probably gonna be having to do that cylinder. Like, she's a couple weeks ahead of me, so I'm probably gonna have to do the cylinder next time too. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. Just taking off the tiniest little shaving of the top until it's all smooth. There is like one little divot there. I'm gonna go in and fill that in with my little scraper. Make sure it's level with the rest of the cake. But yeah, it's gotta be perfect. It's also from a very good friend, so it's gotta be perfect. Me and my husband have a joke about, it's also about a show that we both really love. On Severance, there's a moment where there's these two co-workers and someone says, I'm your best friend. You're my very good friend. Because in the show it makes more sense because this guy has people outside of his life. This other person is like one entity that only has ever known like 6 people in their life. So it makes sense why they say that. But I say that about people in my life because I feel like I get really attached to people and I have to like, you know, take a step back kind of thing where I'm like, they're my best friend. I'm their very good friend. Kind of thing. Anyway, yeah. I know it's something about myself. I just get excited about meeting new people that are cool and in my life. What about it? Oh no! There we go. Okay, we're getting there. Gotta hurry with this part because you can't keep fooling around with this forever while the frosting starts to get a little warmer, or else, you know, it'll be different textures and then it gets weird. But yeah, so we need to make like one more kind of smooth pass over the whole cake. You stay where you stay put. Yeah. Nesquik chocolate milk powder was the thing you saw with the most sugar ratio. That makes sense. It's probably like 90% sugar, and then like 5% malt, and then 5% cocoa. Something like that. Oh, it was over 90% sugar. There you go. And a tiny bit of cocoa. See, I know what I'm talking about. What's the cake base? Oh, so basically a golden retriever. Yeah, I don't know. I just, you know, some friendships are fleeting, and so I feel like in my mind they burn brightly while they're present and stuff like that. And you know, not all friendships. It's just like I've had to grapple with the fact that like, hey, you go through phases in your life. Not everybody that's been with you from day one is gonna be with you for forever. You'll always have the memories though. That song from Adventure Time makes me cry. Time Adventure, because I think about that a lot. The cake base is vanilla. It's a lovely, just classic vanilla cake with vanilla Swiss American hybrid buttercream. That's the buttercream I always use to decorate with. It's the best. It's the best of both worlds. Because it's great to decorate like Swiss buttercream. It tastes amazing like Swiss and American buttercream. It's a little easier to put together like American buttercream. So you make Swiss buttercream, you make the meringue with granulated sugar and egg whites, which means you heat it to get the sugar to melt. I use pasteurized egg whites and I use powdered sugar so it dissolves more easily. It doesn't have to be heated as much. Yeah, so it's like baby easy mode Swiss buttercream, but I call it Swiss American hybrid because American buttercream typically uses powdered sugar or confectioner sugar. There we go. And there's just like a little lifted bit right there. Okay, and now one of these has like a little notch in it and it makes a little line on the cakes. I need to like fix it somehow or only use it for base icing, but sometimes it gets mixed in with the other scrapers. and I don't want it for when I'm making the finished, you know. Is it this one? See, there's a little mark, and it's driving me crazy. Yeah, so if there's like a divot or a notch on one of these, it's very noticeable when you go to smooth the cake. I think this one is good though. I need to like mark that one like right on it in Sharpie or something, like only for base icing, not for the final ice. Something, I'll do that. I'll probably forget 3 more times before I actually do it, so that's just who I am. Yeah. We definitely need to do a cake SMR stream one time. I'll be real quiet. Maybe I won't talk at all. Maybe I'll whisper. I know some people aren't into whispering though. I had this one girl who like, it creeped her out. Like she did not like whispering. But that would be funny. Like turn up the mics really loud so you can hear all the swooshy like buttercream noises, like the piping noises, the soft little kind of noises. And also like the mixing noises. It'd be a good time. Again, that'll take some planning. We'll do it eventually though. I'm so excited to do fun, silly like themes eventually. Like not just like the theme of the cake is cool, but like the theme of the stream theme, if you will. Yeah, it'll be cool. Got a lot of fun plans for the future. Cause if you're not, what's it all about? Gotta stay excited and have things to look forward to. But while also staying in the present. Okay. It's so obvious that there's texture when there's like nothing else going on in the cake. I want it to be perfect though. I might have to go grab my metal scraper. Maybe that's what we'll do. Hang on, do I have one back here? Metal scraper. No. Yo, hi, Lemmy Wimmy. Base, welcome in. Gotta put a warning label. Cake may contain microplastics. This one's plastic. It's like, what's the texture of this plastic? I don't know. I was trying to think of something to compare it to. But yeah, no, I think it's like when I wash them, I feel like that's when they get damaged. I don't think it's getting damaged when I'm like using it on the cake, luckily. But also I just feel like, yeah, everything contains microplastics now. Hang on, I'm gonna grab the metal scraper. I think that'll be the best way to finish off the tippy top of this one. Be back 2 seconds. Just gotta reach into the cabinet. Shuffle down the hallway. Don't trip on that thing. There she is. You're coming with me. Let's go. Oh, I can show you what I meant about the buttercream stripies. Also, this one has multiple edges on it, so you can do like a texture cake, but you can also, there you go. I got buttercream smudgies all over it, but so you see the comb on this side is very square, and this side, each of these teeth is like super square. You can carve out like a perfect stripe shape using this. The other ones you could do like texture. Sorry, this one's like triangular and this one's like scalloped, but these are like little ones. I have buttercream scrapers that are like wider teeth, so you can do wider stripes. We'll have to do a buttercream stripe cake because it's one of the coolest things, I think. I thought it was really cool. I just assumed up until that point, like, oh, you want a stripe cake, you gotta be cutting out some fondant strips. Not so. So yeah. Okay, this is going so much better already. Should have grabbed it from the start. Just to smooth out, I don't even know if you can tell from your angle, there's just a little texture I wanted to address before we write on the top. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. We'll try one more pass and then we'll get ready to write. Cake may contain microplastics and lead. No. This would be good for tile jobs. It's really good for scraping. I have several different shapes and sizes of these. Some of them are really long and tall for the extra tall cakes. This one's probably 5.5 inches if I had to guess. But the other ones are like over 7 inches, which is good because tall cakes are all the rage. I do like that as a trend though. Like you look back to like classic wedding cakes and stuff, like it's all short tiers on short tiers, so you come out with like a little cute squatty sort of looking wedding cake. But I do like that people make fun tall cakes now. They just look so elegant and fantastical. Okay. Wait, there was a, hang on. Hi, welcome in. So the alert worked. I heard the sound. It did work. Cool. I'm glad the alerts are on now. I thought I had put them on last time I streamed and they didn't work. Welcome in, Raiders. Hi. Welcome, G and Wiz. How are y'all doing? How was y'all stream? What did y'all get up to? Today we're making a Valentine's Day cake. It's supposed to look like a conversation heart, you know, those little pastel candy hearts. So it's a really basic design today, but it's gonna be cute and fun. Yeah, we just have to write the message on it now. I had posted a flyer advertising for these cakes a couple weeks ago, and this is the order we got. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Welcome in. Hi. It did work, yes, cool, good. I'm gradually like setting up more and more stuff on the channel. So like sometimes it takes me a couple tries, but it did work. How exciting. Cool. I had also switched from Prism to OBS since I'm multi-streaming to YouTube, so I had to do like an extra step with the URL and everything. Anyway, y'all don't care, but I'm happy that it worked. Cool. Camera work looks phenomenal. Thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to have it focused like on the product that we're actually working on. We were working on a little figurine earlier, so it zoomed in nice and close. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the whole stream setup has gone overall though. We're gonna tilt the cake towards y'all so you can see what I'm piping now, because I got my little tilting stand. Hang on, let me move some things around first. Yeah. Oh, what? Y'all did crochet? Oh my gosh, Gary the snail from SpongeBob. That's sick as heck. I love that. We should make like a Gary the snail cake one day. How cute. Crocheting is so hard. I've tried it. My sister crochets. She's quite good at it. And she sat with me one afternoon and she was trying to teach me. She did a great job. She showed me the magic circle and we got something started, but unfortunately it didn't stick. So the next time when I tried to start it myself, I'm like, where are you? I need help. But yeah, that's so cool. Crocheting is so impressive. Like granny squares alone, I'm like, that's crazy that you could do that and make it look so cool. But then when you're doing like sweaters and pants or animals and shapes in 3D, that's crazy. That's so cool. Magic circles are hard. Like I've seen different ways you can do it also. I think maybe I just need to find the way that works best for me. Like you're doing the same thing, but I've seen people start it in different ways. I'm like, maybe there's a way that fits my brain better. It stinks. I lose track of counting. I think that's my major struggle with crochet. I do that in baking sometime too. Like when that's why I like to do everything by weight, because I get distracted if I have to do cups. This is dumb, but it happens. Like if it's like 6 cups or something, I'll be like, oh yeah, okay. And then was that 3 or 4? Like was this number 4 or was that? Yeah, so like I think maybe crochet is not for me. Maybe if I got like an abacus and then set it beside me until it became natural, I could be like, okay, that's 1, that's 2. And then if I lose track, I could just, but then I feel like that would really destroy the flow because you're supposed to just be going for it. All of that aside. The message for today's cake, I don't know if y'all counting is math with fluffy texture. Yeah. It's tricky. And I've seen like those little Woobles kits and stuff where they have like a small, I'm like, just because the project is small does not mean it's easy. I feel like the ratio of Mistakes is even more obvious if it's a small project. But yeah, oh, check the battery. Okay, cool, we're good on battery. Yeah, so all that to say, I just find crocheters just amazing. So impressive, so dedicated and talented, and just so cool. Yeah, that's really neat. Oh, it was a Wooble kit. Neato. That's so neat. I love that. I did get excited. We were just talking about Lord of the Rings a little bit earlier. I did get excited. I saw they did some Lord of the Rings characters for Wooble's kits. I was like, that's really cute. They had a little Gandalf and little guys. I don't know. It was really cute. Making pancakes and use tablespoons instead of teaspoons. Oh, shoot. I feel like at least it was baking powder, not baking soda. Like, yeah, it's probably still noticeable, but with baking soda, it's way more concentrated and the flavor is way more acidic-ish. So like, you definitely would have noticed it with baking soda. Baking powder, I think it still would have been noticeable, but not as egregious probably. You wonder how that would have turned out. I mean, maybe more fluffy since it is a leavening agent, but I do think that the flavor would have been affected as well, probably to some detriment. I don't know. Could have been fine. Could have been fine though. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So the message today, I started saying this and I got distracted. We are going to do, originally they were going to say till death, like on top, because I was like, that's cool. But then they changed their mind. This was a friend of mine, and it's going to say haunt me because they were rereading Wuthering Heights because the new movie is coming out, the new iteration. There's been multiple versions of this movie being made in the past, obviously, like all the great classics, you know, there's several iterations of them. But yeah, so it's gonna say haunt me because I was talking about this earlier, but in that story, it's a classic, I don't know if you read it, but it's a very tumultuous, toxic sort of relationship between the two main characters, because it's like, oh, they should have been together, but then all these bad people in their life kind of kept them apart. And anyway, it's so bad that they're like, I love you so much, like, I want you for eternity, I want you to haunt me. But it's like, it's very, it's very goth, it's very metal. I don't know, it's great, it's excellent. You should read the book if you haven't read it. I don't want to spoil it. It's been around for forever though, but the movie's coming out, so check that out. They are doing it in 2 parts. We were just talking about that, me and this friend. I was like, I mean, I guess, like, you want to capture the full breadth of the situation, and like that story does go from like when they were younger to when they're like adults. There's a long transition of time that's like over, you know, from like young like child and young teen age to like when they're like older. I was gonna say to when they're marrying age, but at that time it's like they get married when they're like 17 and 19. So like when they're kids to when they're like older kids essentially, but like getting married and young 20s and things like that. Anyway, so today this cake is gonna say haunt me. I know it's a basic design, but we gotta get the text on here just right or it's gonna throw off the whole thing. We have our nice bright pinky colored writing piping bag for the text. I am going to stencil, like sketch it in with a little stylus tool ahead of time because I want it to be nice and centered. Sometimes if I wing it, I get overconfident and it's like that John Mulaney bit where he's like, you start out a birthday banner with a lot of confidence. You say big ol' A over here, big A, or big H over here, big A. And they're like, oh no, we're running out. Long, skinny, tall P, and then a P that hides under the hump of that P. That really is how piping on cakes is. You start with a big flourish and you're like, ooh, let's compensate a little bit while still making it look nice. You can, depending on the design, you can always scrape it and start over, but yeah, I'm gonna write on top lightly since it's only 2 words. I'm gonna write them down and then I'll flip it back and then y'all can, I can pipe it for you. But I'm gonna do this real quick it'll just, it'll be better for me and my purposes. But yeah, anyway, let me see. I'm just gonna use one of my silicone tipped fondant tools and just lightly trace it out. Pro tip, if you're doing a longer message, a lot of time it helps if you just start with the middle letter and then work, you know, your way to the right and the left. Or I think the camera's mirrored, so left and right. I think I did it backwards anyway. Yeah, so haunt me, H-A-U-N-T. We're gonna start with the U, make sure that's centered, and then we'll put the other letters in. And then we'll line up the me underneath it. So here we go. Just real quick, gonna just so lightly sketch this out. Also, what's driving me crazy, the way I didn't frost the very tip of the cake at the right angle, so it's like, oh, you're not gonna notice. I'm gonna notice because I'm looking right at it. It's fine, it's centered. Just noticed that now. It's fine, it's literally fine. Okay, so we'll start with the U. Oh yeah, and on the little flyer ad for these cakes, I had put like, probably like a shorter message is gonna look better since it's for, you know, conversation cards. All had just like cutesy little short messages. And then like, I feel like in my era of like school day, Valentine's Day parties, like they had started introducing like, you know, chat speak, like text message abbreviations, like text me, TXT me, call you, or call me later, L8R, you know, all that silly stuff. Yeah. You can't forget the A, because then it would say, never mind. Just think about The Office where they're trying to write launch party on the poster because it's an AU. Because then it would say lunch party. Is that really better? Okay, we got the T. Just really just faintly sketching it in here. Yeah. Not a fan of the book, too dense old English. It is dense. It's like very, yeah, kind of flowery, old, dense. It's like of its time, you know. I forget what year that was written in. I read that one in high school, so like I had read like a little bit as a refresher recently. But yeah, some of the specifics of that one still escape me. I remember the general sort of plot, obviously. But yeah, and it's a kind of longer one, if I remember correctly. It's a decent size read, you know. I'm a big Jane Austen fan, though. I do kind of like that period. I don't know if they were contemporaries or not. That's a good question. I know Pride and Prejudice came out in like 1812, or it was set in 1812. I don't remember exactly when Wuthering Heights was supposed to be set. That would be good trivia. I was asking some Lord of the Rings trivia earlier because off screen I was making a Gandalf figurine while we were waiting for this to chill and set so that I could scrape the top and then do the writing, obviously. But yeah, so I was asking some light Lord of the Rings trivia, just Gandalf in his outfit, what his whole deal was. Okay, and we need this to be level. We can't be having it be crooked, obviously. It's the only thing on this cake, so it's gotta be perfect. Gotta get some pictures of this one though, because it's gonna be cute. We had this one bakery I worked at one time. We had made pinata cakes that were heart-shaped for a Valentine's Day promo, the ones where you cut them open and the candy spills out. So we had used a heart-shaped cookie cutter to cut the hole in each of those larger cakes. And so then our boss was like, hey, y'all could take those little baby heart-shaped cookie cutter cakes and make your own cake and take them home to your sig other or just to eat or your family or whatever. Yeah, and so we all wrote messages on ours. I made mine look like a heart piece from Zelda. My friend made hers like almond flavored and put like Nutella or something else inside. And so she said nuts about you. And then my other coworker friend, she she put something a little more explicit on top. Yeah, that was funny. I shan't repeat it. It can't be saying bad words. Yeah, it was funny though, because she just really went for it. Essentially, let's make out, but she didn't use the word make out. Yeah, funny. Okay, me. And yeah, so the font for these are just like real blocky, all caps. So real basic font as well. Nothing curly or swirly about this one. Yeah. Sorry. This is probably boring, but I'll get to the piping in a second. Is what it is. So yeah, on this stream, for those of you who just joined us, I've been doing like some fun video game themed cakes. I did a cool piranha plant cake that was really fun. We did Charging Chuck from Mario also because it was vaguely football themed for, you know, football day, quote unquote. And upcoming, we're going to be making, well, this upcoming week, we're making a severance cake. And at the end of this month, oh yeah, I meant to talk to you guys about today. So at the end of this month, we're supposed to make a Resident Evil inspired game, inspired cake for the new game, Requiem. I have been playing some of the older games, catching up on like the characters like Leon and Claire and their whole deal, because I think Leon's in this one. Also, it occurred to me that Capcom usually releases like a demo like 2 weeks before, which would be today or tomorrow. So hopefully, because I was like, oh, I don't know what to make from the new game because it's not out yet. Hopefully they release the demo today or tomorrow and we can get a sneak peek at what to make. I think from the trailer, I'm gonna make that one creepy dude. I don't know his name yet, but he has kind of like, I don't know, rotting looking skin, some messed up teeth, but then he has this cool like goggle headpiece, like leather or metal kind of like cap thing that has all these like lenses on it, kind of steampunk looking. That's the running plan for now. So we're gonna do that at the end of the game, at the end of the month when the game actually comes out on the 27th. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. So we're gonna do a Resident Evil cake. That one's gonna be a big to do, especially if I do that guy, because that'll be like a bust. We'll do like his neck and his head, so it'll be like a cool 3D situation. Looking ahead, that'll be really fun. That's kind of like the big exciting cake for this month. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep an eye out tonight and see if anybody, tonight and tomorrow, to see if anybody's playing the demo, or maybe I'll have to play it myself. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out. And if y'all see it, and hop in the Discord with any, like if you see it and see something that would make a good cake from the demo, we could leave it in the Discord. Yeah, because yeah, I don't know what the key is, like visual themes of this game are gonna be, but I want it to be, because we were talking about like, well, I could just make it like Resident Evil in general themed, like make something that appears in all the games. But I think because like people are gonna be streaming that day, I want it to be specific to Requiem. So yeah, anyway, so all that to say, I got excited because I saw that they were gonna potentially, if they follow suit like they have with the past several releases, this would be the time when they would release like today or tomorrow. It's already the 13th here. I live in South Korea, so I'm like generally 13 to 15 hours ahead of US time. Anyway, so yeah, keeping an eye out for that. Okay, we have our text sketched out. This is also going to help me to have it sketched out because I'm going to pipe it upside down. We're going to see how that looks. I've done this before a couple times for videos, and it's gone fine. So I'm going to pipe it upside down so you guys can actually see what's happening. Because if I just do it like a top down, like I can't really see what's going on from my point of view. So here we go. This will be a fun challenge. Gotta pull, there's like a little stopper and that stops the thing from rotating. And then there's a little pedal here, you push it and then you can tilt it. So yeah. That's why it has like these sort of grippy rings on it. So when you tilt it, the whole thing doesn't slide off the cake table. Real handy. This is one. Oh, that's a good answer. I think proto or maybe sodium. I can't, hang on, let me see. Someone asked earlier, what gadget would I use like I couldn't live without? This guy's probably, it didn't even occur to me. I was like, well, yeah, probably my mixer. I'm like, that's not really a gadget. I would call this a gadget, and I would say this is probably one of the most useful gadgets I have. So yeah, I'm gonna go with my tilting cake stand as, yeah. That's my answer. 30 minutes or an hour later since you asked that question. All right. Oh, thanks so much, Floppa Wappas. Good night. You gotta go sleep. Yeah, I know it's getting late a lot of places. I try to get started early over here, but I go for like several hours, so I know people drop off. But have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. For sure. Not a bloody heart. Yeah, no. That would have been fun. Like telltale heart kind of situation. Like cut into it and there's like raspberry jam oozing out of the cake. That would have been really fun. Yeah, my channel is all cakes. I might do some gaming eventually, like when we're trying to, like new games come out, like kind of like I was talking about with Resident Evil. Like if a new game comes out, like I could get on here and play a little, and then like we could decide as a chat like what we want to make from the cake. I thought that would be kind of cool. But yeah, right now I'm just all cakes all the time. I used to run a business in the States when I lived in the States, but I moved over here. And, you know, for several reasons, it's not the same capacity. So sometimes I am making orders on here. Like today, I'm making an order for somebody, like a real person. And then other times I hop on here and I just make whatever designs that we want, either because like we picked a game that we want to make a cake from, or there's like a new technique that I want to try out because, yeah, I want to keep like growing my skills and my portfolio still, even though I can't run my business in the same capacity because I'm living in another country now. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, we're pretty much all cakes all the time. We might have other things in the future that would be cool, but yeah, so every, if you're in the US, every Sunday night and Thursday night, I'm usually making cakes on here. I usually start 10:30 my time, which is like usually 7 p.m. on the East Coast, and then whatever time zone you are, you know, time zone math. But yeah, so I'm here every Sunday and Thursday US time, and then I occasionally do a weekend stream, but I try to update the schedule like a couple days ahead of time if I know I'll have time to do like a Friday or Saturday night stream. So yeah. Okay, piping back. We got our bright pink frosting, and then we have a number 3 piping tip on here. That's usually the one you see people write with on like a standard sort of sized cake. So here we go. We're just gonna take it nice and slow and do some chill piping. Yeah, I'll probably stop chattering for a while so I can focus on the, usually when I'm trying to have a steady hand, I'm like holding my breath and stuff, so we can all just listen to the music for a minute and I'll stop my incessant chatter for a moment. Chill vibes. Upside down and do it left-handed? No way. No way. I can't. I'm not ambidextrous. You're crazy. Yeah, let me crouch up and kind of hunch over the cake like a small little cake goblin. Posture is atrocious. Got the shrimp back. Got the shrimpitis. Okay, here we go. Left handed. You're crazy. No way. Alrighty. Out of curiosity, in the books, do you guys know, you who just joined us, do you guys know what color Gandalf's hat was in the book? Hot tip, it wasn't gray. I know he's Gandalf the Grey, but his hat's not actually gray in the book. Also, he has another accessory that's mentioned in his outfit. Anybody know? Me and my dad and my siblings went to, he's a big Lord of the Rings fan, and all of us are too. He read us like The Hobbit when we were kids. Anyway, we went to Mellow Mushroom one time, it's a pizza place, and did Hobbit trivia, and it was real fun. And we won a gift card. Highlight of my life right there. Hobbit themed trivia, and we get free pizza. Yes, please. Dang, I want pizza now. It's Friday where I'm at already, so I'm like, might have a little treat. No, I just cooked up a bunch of like taco meat last night. Probably have tacos all weekend. It's like some Tex-Mex type white people tacos. There's that one reel that cracks me up where they're talking about white people taco night. I'm like, yeah, but I love it. You get the ground beef from the grocery store and the shredded lettuce from the grocery store. Cause it's white people taco night. Yeah, okay. I love an excellent like Mexican street taco too. But do I love seasoned ground beef? Yes. Do I love Taco Bell? Yes, unfortunately, yes. Sue me. I know it's not good for you. But I love it, and it has a lot of nostalgic hold on me. Oh, this one came out wobbly. See if we can stick the landing. I'm talking too much again. There we go. It's kind of crazy, because in life, I'm a much more introverted person. So like the first couple times I started streaming, my husband was like, wow, I can't believe you were back there just chit-chatting for like 4 hours. I'm like, yeah, it was weird. Who am I? Who is she? Okay, the T went a little off script, but I think it's good because I was looking at the negative space over here and the negative space over here, and I needed to like shift it over a little bit. I had it kind of positioned a little close to the end. But also, Twitch chat is real cool. It's like, I don't know. I've been a casual Twitch user, very much a lurker, and then I started streaming. But yeah, the Twitch chat is such a nice place to be in general. I mean, depending on the community. But like, it's typically miles better. Sorry, YouTube, I'm not trying to hate. Also, I don't think anybody's in the YouTube chat right now to be offended. But the YouTube chat is hit or miss. I'm multi-streaming, and like I'll either get some like really nice 12-year-old who's like, hey, I saw you didn't have any views and I like to come in on lives that have no people and talk to them. I'm like, thanks, you're so sweet. Or it's somebody posting, I was talking about when I first signed on today, somebody posted something mean right off the bat, right in the YouTube chat. And I was like, who are you? Who hurt you? What's wrong? Why are you doing this? It said, it's still up there mocking me. I didn't talk about it when it came up because I'm like, they're gonna leave and I'm not gonna get the satisfaction of responding to it, but it says, you kick, I think they're trying to say you suck. You kick, your cake looks stupid. I was like, bro, go to sleep. You're probably 12. Yeah. Trade a cake for pizza. Would do. That's an excellent trade. Would make that trade any day, for sure. Oh boy. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It's been great so far. I like it here. I think I'll stick around. I hope you guys do too. Haunt me. Yeah. You. Here we go. I'm like, so far so good. But also this could be one of those situations where I flip it upside down. I'm like, what have I done? Like if you're if you're drawing in like an app or something like digital drawing, Procreate, Photoshop, whatever, like you're drawing a face and then people like flip it across the horizontal to check and see how it's looking. It's like you're drawing a face and you flip it over the horizontal. You're like, oh my God, what is this? I feel like I'm gonna turn this back towards me and I'm gonna be like, oh no, what have I done? It can't be that bad, right? You guys would tell me, right, if it was that bad. Got family that's a vendor for a supermarket. He always trades with other vendors. That's pretty cool. I like a good little barter system. A friend of mine, their dad is a lawyer in Louisiana. Sorry, the tip of that just wasn't coming out how I wanted it. And one time to pay him, somebody gave him a baby goat. So then they had a baby pet goat named Penelope, and she was real cute. But I was like, okay. I don't know. I guess that was the arrangement that they struck up. They loved her. She was real sweet. I wonder if she's still around. I don't know how long goats live. I should ask. I haven't asked about Penelope in a long time. I just saw them. It was two sisters that me and my sisters were friends with. And I just saw them a little while ago, and I never thought to ask about Penelope. Okay, time for the reveal. I'm looking at the camera. It looks pretty good from that way. Chihuahua puppies. Aww. I used to be like, oh my gosh, you know, one of those people who are like, little dogs aren't dogs, they're just rats. Not really. I've always thought they were cute, but I was like trying to have some kind of opinion about things that don't matter. But yeah, living in Korea, every dog that walks by is just a small little cutie wooty pooty snooty guy. And now I'm in love and I'm like, I want a dog that I can take to the cafe and put in a stroller or a purse or whatever. That being said, it's not great because like puppy mill kind of pet store culture is still a thing over there. So like, not great for those reasons. But do I get excited when I see a little parade of papillon and, no, not papillons. Papillons are the ones with the butterfly ears. We were just talking about that. You know, when I see a little parade of fluffy guys go by, yeah, I'm gonna love it. Do I hope that all the puppies are getting treated well in the pet store? Yes, but sorry, didn't mean to bring the mood down. I love dogs. I wish I could have a Chihuahua puppy. Is that, that's what I'm trying to say. I wish I could have a little friend to take with me everywhere. Cause, yeah, dogs are pretty, everywhere here is pretty dog friendly. Evidently more people have like pets than children here lately. Like that's been the trend. I think it's been true in the US too, though, like young couples, young families, you know, are taking more time before having kids, if they have kids at all, like a lot of people. Also the joke, it's like, okay, pets became babies and plants became pets, basically. Like people's priorities and the way they take care of things changed. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'd love to adopt some pets eventually. But while we're moving, I don't really know where we're gonna move after we leave here in a couple years, so I don't know. I don't want to subject a pet to that. I think it would be fine, but also like, you know, if we want to visit home, you know, 1 year for the holidays, it would be like, do you bring the pet with you and subject them to like a 16-hour flight? Or do you find somebody to care for them? You probably find somebody to care for them. But also that's a long time to go without seeing your pet if you're visiting home for a couple weeks or whatever. Yeah, it just depends, I guess. All right. You guys, there's like one little dot of frosting right here. But yeah, that's today's cake order. Today's cake was a little more simple, but we did get to spend some time working on the fundamentals. You saw me scraping the top of the cake for a good little while there. But yeah, hang on, I'm gonna tilt it so you can see a little better. But there we are. Don't fall. Yeah, simple order today. Next week's cakes are definitely going to be more detailed and involved. Like I said, we're going to make the MDR modem, like the monitor. What do they call it in the show? Anyway, we're going to make the computer from Severance. That'll be really cool. Also, we're going to paint something funny on it. If you've seen the show, it'll make sense. If you haven't seen the show, it's still kind of funny, and I can tell you what's going on. But yeah, that's the other thing that prevented me from wanting pets even when I lived in Virginia before I knew we were going to move here. Under cottage laws, you can't have pets in a home if you're going to be baking from the home, so that's a no-go also. Unless you have like a separate, something on your house that has like a separate entrance or what. Well, that's how it was in Virginia. I know all the cottage laws in different states are going to be different, so it would depend on where we are and if I could find a sweet setup like I did before for baking, where there was a commercial kitchen, a community commercial kitchen that I did all my baking and production from. So like, you know, all the health department inspections happened there. They weren't happening at my house, even though like my office was at my house. All the production was in a licensed kitchen. I got health department checks regularly. So yeah, they're more strict about, you know, your house has to be up to snuff if you're serving food from it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of little rules that you have to follow for that kind of thing. So, gotta write hidden Bible verses on the cake. So, wait, is that really on Chick-fil-A wrappers? They have secret Bible verses? I mean, I know they're like, yeah, we're closed on Sunday and we're a religious sort of organization. Like In-N-Out. Oh, In-N-Out too? I didn't realize that. There's a place here in Korea called Isaac Toast, and they have like Bible verses on the wall because I guess their name comes from a character in the Bible named Isaac, and there's something about grain and like grains and being fulfilled and sustained by like, anyway, I don't know. Their toast is good. It's kind of like gyugori toast, but like the fast food version of it. So gyugori toast is like literally street toast. You might have seen videos of people making it, but it's like the toast with lots of butter or margarine. So you're cooking it on a griddle, and then it has like slices of ham and American cheese, and then shredded cabbage, and then like egg either mixed into the cabbage. So it's like a big like omelet pile, or like there'll be like a folded thin layer of egg that's like scrambled and then folded into a square. And then a lot of places drizzle it with like ketchup, I think one way, mustard one way, and then you can ask for it without sugar, but they put sugar on it, like they sprinkle the ketchup and mustard with sugar. I haven't had the like real deal street food version of it. I have had like the Isaac Toast version of it. It's pretty good, but I want to go. There's like several places. It's just been so cold. I haven't felt like going to like an outdoor food market lately. But yeah, that's on my list. I know it's like American cheese and processed ham, but like it looks so good. And it's just a big messy pile, and like I feel like you could feed 3 people on it. Some of the ways that people do them, just big messy cabbage shreddy pile of deliciousness. Yeah. Full diabetes experience. Yeah, for real. That is funny though. Like there's some things over here, a lot of things over here are sweet that you wouldn't expect to be sweet. Also bulgogi. I was real hype on some bulgogi, but now I'm kind of like burnt out on it. I'm like, I don't want sweet meats. I just want savory. It's still good. I still love it in like bibimbap or whatever, but yeah, I'm not like always trying to pick bulgogi every time. Like if we go to barbecue or something, I'm like, let me just have like the normal non-seasoned meats, like non-marinated stuff, I guess is what I'm getting at. Yeah, it's still good, but yeah, I can't just be eating sugar all of the time. What other things? Oh, I think I probably told you guys, but garlic bread over here isn't like the delicious, savory, herbaceous experience that you would expect. It's got like a sweetness to it. And like as its own thing, it is yummy. But like if you're about to bite into a hot, buttery looking piece of garlic bread and you're just thinking like, yes, like basil, oregano, and garlic and lots and lots and lots of garlic. And you bite into it and you're like, why does this taste like sweet cream cheese? What's happening? Yeah, it's just like the mental disconnect. It's not bad. It's just like not what you're expecting. So you're like, oh, what is this? Also the butter. So there's a lot of like Parisian style bakeries over here, like croissants and everything are real popular. French style baked goods. Camembert is like a classic sandwich combination, ham and butter. Didn't know that when we moved here. And a friend of mine, she visited shortly after my husband had moved here. They came here for their honeymoon and we got together with them a couple times while they were here. Her husband, they had gone, like they were grabbing breakfast, like they were gonna walk around that morning, so they were just having like a grab and go kind of breakfast snack somewhere before they got their day started, and they were gonna have like a sit down lunch later or something. And he got 2 croissants and he was like, oh, those look good, ham and cheese. Yeah, ham and cheese, right? No, wrong. And he got 2 of them. He was pretty hungry. And the checkout lady was like, 2? And he was like, yeah, sure. And he bit into it, and what he thought were delicious little thick slices of soft cheese or just cheese or something were like thick pads of butter on the croissant with the ham. And he was like, well, he ate them. He was hungry, but he was like, that's way too much butter. Also, the idea of putting extra butter on a buttery croissant is just crazy. So indulgent and delicious. You also see like camembert, like bagel sandwiches sometimes, like ham and butter on a bagel. And it's good when it's just like a little bit of butter like scraped on there, but like when you bite into it, you just get like a mouthful of butter. It's not for me. I'm sure some people love it, obviously, because it's such a popular flavor. But like, if you're expecting it to be ham and cheese and you bite into it and it's butter, you're like, oh, what is this? W, heart disease, indeed. Garlic ice cream. I would try it. I would try garlic ice cream. They have garlic bread almonds here. So there's this company called HBAF, and they make all different kinds of roasted almonds. And then there's like a lot of like different seasoned and flavored types, sweet and savory. The garlic bread one is one that is both sweet and savory. So yeah, it has like a garlicky flavor, but then also like a sweetness to it. So I imagine, and like if you think about caramelizing vegetables, like caramelizing or broiling, garlic in like the foil that they do, like where, yeah, you caramelize garlic and onions and they do become quite sweet and flavorful. So it's not like totally out of the realm of, logic and decency. But it's a surprise sometimes. Garlic popcorn. Went to the movie theater, got garlic popcorn, and it tasted like kettle corn with garlic seasoning. Like it was sweet first and foremost, and then garlicky on the back half of the flavor sensation. Yeah, it's good though. Again, just like if you're expecting it, if you chose it willingly. That's my only gripe with like also like cheesy snacks here. If you get like a cheesy, even like brands that we have in the US, the like Korean version, the Korean formula for them will be different. Yeah, like cheesy snacks have like a sweet tinge to them. Like almost like it's trying to be a sweet, kind of like how blue cheese or dolce gorgonzola has like a sweet funkiness to it. It's kind of like that. It's not just strictly like a salty cheddar flavor. There's like a little sweetness to everything. It's fine. But like if I want a cheesy snack, I want like a savory cheesy snack. So I'm like, I just kind of gave up on cheesy snacks in general, I guess. I'm gonna grab a box and we can box this one up and I can pop it into the fridge. But I think she turned out pretty great. I gotta take some photos also before, like I'll keep yapping and I'll get a quick little photo shoot while we're just chit-chatting and stuff, and then we can box it up and then, you know, hang out for a minute. But yeah, so that's our one order for the week. And then next week's cake, we got a going away cake. And then, let's see, that's this week. And then the following week, I might be wrong, but then I think the following week would be the Resident Evil cake. And then the week after that is when we get to do our fun unicorn cake, birthday cake order. I think that one is for the first week of March. And they just said unicorn and pink. So I'm gonna go crazy with it. So yeah, that one will be fun. Something a little more fanciful and ridiculous. Yeah. Garlic growing capital of the states is out here in Cali. I didn't realize that. That's cool. I know raisins are big. I was thinking about the California raisins, but I was also thinking about this one episode of iCarly where they're talking about the Yakima Raisin Festival or something. I don't know why that popped in my head. Oh, speaking of festivals, Raisin Festival, Garlic Fest. Yes, I've heard of Garlic Fest. I would love to attend Garlic Fest. Oh, dang. Just kidding. That's sad. Terrible. Why would you ruin Garlic Fest? That's ridiculous. I mean, why would you ruin anything like that? But damn, that sucks. There's an island or a city, like a little town in Japan. I think it's like a little island. I don't remember where, but it's like totally onion themed. Like they grow lots of onions there and they have like an onion themed park there, and you can get like different onion treats and an onion hat, and there's like little silly like onion shaped photo opportunities and stuff. That would be cool. I do like a good aromatic vegetable. One time in culinary school, one of my friends was like asking everybody, what's your favorite vegetable? And I said onion, and then she said, and onion's an aromatic. And I was like, lesson. Technically, there's no such thing as a vegetable. That's like a culinary term. It's not a like scientific plant term. So I'm like, onion's my favorite vegetable. And she's like, no, you have to pick a vegetable. I was like, onion is a vegetable. Get off my case. Let me pick onion. I'm also like not a very decisive person. So I'm like, no, I already made up my mind. I don't want to have to pick something else. It's hard to pick favorites. I hate when people are like, what's your favorite this or that? I'm like, can I just rattle off 5 of my top favorite ones? Like my dad has this running bit. For a while, he would just like any movie that he liked. Oh, battery check. No, we're good on battery. Any movie that he liked, he'd be like, oh yeah, great movie, top 10. And like, he would say that about like every one of the movies that he really liked. I'm like, so there must be like 100 movies in his top 10. I'm like, yeah, I can get behind that. How much lead time do you require for customers? So like a buttercream cake, it kind of varies case to case. Like sometimes people will be like, hey, I know it's kind of last minute, but can you blah, blah, blah. So like sometime last year, I got like a request for a baby shower cake within just a few. Oh, thanks for the follow, Miss Angela Jones. Thanks for following. Also, thank you, G and Liz, for following. How exciting. Yeah. Oh, the baby shower cake. They're like, hey, I know it's the last minute, but I was tasked with putting on a baby shower and was wondering if you could do the cake. So like I did it with just like 3 days notice or something. Easy peasy. Back when I was doing the business by myself, I required more lead time from the time that people put in the request, because sometimes when they're asking you like, hey, I have an event 2 weeks out, it's like you still spend like a couple days going back and forth with them, like hammering out the details. So like back then I was like 2 weeks minimum, because like if I have to spend a couple days figuring out the details with you, and then it's like I also have to like, you know, plan all the stuff, make sure I have all the ingredients, equipment, decorative elements and stuff. So it used to be like 2 weeks minimum. You know, longer for wedding cakes or longer for highly detailed cakes, just because like you're gonna have a better chance of me not being booked up if you ask ahead of time. But now like a week at least is nice. Longer, just because I mean, like I kind of want to stick to the general like 2-week rule of thumb, but if somebody asks me and I can do it, I will do it. Like I said, if it's a simple buttercream design where I can quickly get all this stuff, I'm totally down to do it. Some stuff takes longer, some stuff takes more prep work. Like if I was doing something crazy like the Hobbit cake I was talking about earlier, currently 2 weeks would, I guess, be enough if that's like the only cake I have. Just because you're gonna spend like several days making all the details before you even bake the cake. Like you're gonna make all the fondant stuff ahead of time, because like it needs time to dry or set, or you can store it and stuff, and then you bake the cake, and then you start actually working on the actual cake part. But yeah. Also, like my sourcing for ingredients and decorative items is a little different over here. There are some like cake decorating specialty type shops, but you know, they don't necessarily have everything that I had access to before, like when I was in Virginia. So like if I need to order something online, yeah, it's helpful to have more time with that kind of stuff. I've been generally, now that I'm like getting a little more busy with projects, just because the word of mouth has gotten out more, so I'm gradually getting like a couple cakes trickle in every month for orders. I've been just trying to have, you know, more fondant and ingredients for modeling chocolate on hand if I need them. I don't make the fondant myself, I order that, so I've just been trying to keep, you know, a solid amount of it on hand, so if somebody does ask for something, I already have it. But things like special cake toppers and stuff like that, like I don't have a Cricut machine, I don't make like vinyl cutout paper toppers here. So generally if there's like decorative elements like that, or like custom candles and stuff, I kind of leave that on their end. Like, you know, I can do the cake part of the design, and then, you know, and so far people tend to operate that way anyway. They're like, I already ordered all the decorations for the party, and I also ordered matching candles or a matching topper or whatever. So that's usually good. Because yeah, if you're asking me, you know, 2 weeks out, I might not be able to get in like the specific item that you need ahead of time. I have done in a pinch when people really needed it, I did like get my X-Acto knife and like hand cut out a paper topper, but it's not like worth the time, because I feel like usually if you're choosing like a paper topper, it's because like if it's into your budget better than a fondant one would. But then yeah, if I'm trying to offer it to you at a good price, it's not worth my time, depending on the design, to sit there and like cut it out by hand. That's really something like, it would be cool to have a Cricut machine. If you don't know what a Cricut machine is, it's a crafting machine. You can put in different designs, and then you can cut different materials. So you can cut like cardstock or vinyl or different things like that. It's for like precise craft work. I think it sort of works like a printer. I'm pretty sure there's like a digital component where you can like download designs and things into it. So eventually that would be cool to have to make those kinds of custom cutters. But in this capacity, like how I'm running the business on a very small scale over here, I'm not gonna worry about investing in that right now. Maybe in the future, like if we move back and then I pick up kind of like full pace again, like I was when we were in Virginia. So yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna start taking some photos while we're hanging out, and then I'll box this beauty up and it'll be ready to go. And we are done well ahead of schedule. Originally when I posted the flyer, I said we'd do like pickups around 5 or 6 p.m. my time. It's only 2 p.m. here, so that's good. And yeah, I'm just meeting with one person, so I don't have to like worry about waiting for a lot of people to show up. It's just one person, so easy peasy. One friend, also someone I know pretty well. So it's not like, oh, I gotta pick a stranger out of this parking lot and figure out who looks like they're looking for a cake. Usually I'll be like, I'm in this colored car, or like I'm wearing this color parka or whatever. But yeah, then I'm just like staring at every car that drives into the place where we're meeting. Like, be like, do you look like you're coming here for a cake? I don't know. Cake profiling people. Yeah. All right, set this off to the side. Here we go. But yeah, oh, to reiterate, we got the Discord up and running. I need to be more active throughout the week and like post stuff, and then also figure out some more of the channels that we want to add. So we have the cool Discord experience. I think it's in my profile on Twitch. So if you're watching on YouTube, I don't think anybody's in the YouTube chat right now. Anyway, so we got the Discord up, and that is also where you can leave suggestions or images for future cake designs that you would think would be cool, or game designs. Yeah, I'm really, right now, really into the idea of doing lots of different like video game designs, probably pretty Nintendo heavy because I feel like those designs lend themselves really well to cakes. I also want to make a Hollow Knight cake because I've just been playing Hollow Knight for the first time. I haven't really got into it a whole lot yet, but I really like the style so far. I had started watching like a playthrough someone else had done a while ago, and then I was like, pause, I don't want to watch any of this because I want to play this game myself. And oh, I also really want to do a Katamari cake. I was just listening to some Katamari music from the game the other day. I was like, we gotta do a Katamari cake. The little prince and the ball. It'll be so cute. I think that'll be the design, like a little prince, and he's next to like, you know, what the little kind of lumpy, colorful ball that it starts out as before you start getting all the stuff on it. And then maybe in the chat people could suggest some like easy, oh, that would be so fun. We could pick a bunch of animals, and chat could like pick which like little animals and figurines that I could make really quickly on stream and then like stick onto the ball. They'd have to be like real basic on the animals, but that would work because, you know, as you're zooming out further and further in that game, as you get onto like the bigger obstacles in the game, yeah, all the little characters and creatures are like a very simplistic style. That would be really fun and silly. I don't know when we should do that one though. I'm like, should it be like a certain theme? I don't know, that'll be fun. Yeah, I want to do Katamari, that's for sure. I'm trying to figure out another. I already did Animal Crossing, so I'll probably take a break from Animal Crossing for a minute, but I have a lot of other cute Animal Crossing ideas I want to do. Yeah, you know, take these gloves off and get my camera. I'm just gonna grab one with the phone, I guess, because I think, well, the camera's on the stand, yeah, duh. Facebook Marketplace food buys. Oh yeah. I ended up like not publishing it somehow. I was gonna post the Sir Duncan shield on the base like buy and sell page for the base. I didn't end up doing it. Like I had drafted it and I never hit send, and then I was like, oh, that's fine. And then me and my husband ended up eating that one because it was like about this big, and I was like, I need something chocolate. I need something sweet. Anyway, but yeah, I was considering putting out a blurb, like letting people know ahead of time, like, hey, I regularly, kind of just letting them know the whole deal. Hey, I regularly have cake orders, but I also have some days where I just make a cake for no intended recipient. But if you would like a free cake in the future, send me your name, and like I'll message you on a Monday or Friday being like, hey, do you want this Captain Falcon cake? Hey, I made a Donkey Kong cake. Do you want it? Yeah. Silly. But also other stuff I'd love to do. Oh, rats. My partner just messaged and he said, the music's very quiet. If you see this message before you're done streaming, I'll go try to turn it up a little. It looks like, what do you guys think? I knew it was like soft, but is it like really quiet? Is it annoyingly quiet? I don't know. Thanks, dude. He always, if he knows I'm streaming, he'll check on his lunch break and like check how things are going. Like one time he was like, hey, the camera's a little out of focus. I was like, thanks, I didn't notice, and stuff like that. Also right now I know it's not focused on me because it's focused on the cake, but yeah, he's always looking out for me. That old guy. What a nice friend. Friend and partner and best friend and everything else. Yeah, he's really helped a lot getting me going in this thing. He's very tech savvy also, so anytime I have a problem, we can figure it out together. Or sometimes he's just like, hey, I already figured out how to do XYZ. I'm like, wow, so fast, so capable. What a guy. I love this. This is great. The message is excellent. 10 out of 10, my friend. Okay, I've cropped those. Read about people selling on DoorDash from their home kitchen. Oh, that's cool. Okay. I thought you just meant like, kind of like a nothing, what do you call those Facebook pages? Like a nothing wasted, or, what, they have a name, I just can't think of it right now, but like Facebook pages where like people give away, like, hey, I'm going out of town, but I have an open gallon of milk and stuff like that. Or like, hey, we have too many pizzas, there's 2 free pizzas. Nothing wasted or nothing bought or nothing spent. I can't remember what the phrase is. Nothing, I don't know, it's like secondhand stuff, but like if it's like a hyper-focused community of people, there's like it's very local to you, so it's more like there's more, I guess. I mean, I don't think I would necessarily take a free half gallon of milk from a stranger, but like, hey, if you trust your community, or like if it's like just neighbors that you know really well, fine. But yeah, some of the stuff that people, it's like let go. Or like, yeah, just posting things on Facebook Marketplace for free, but it's like hyper local, hyper specific to your community. And like, it's like to reduce waste and reduce consumerism, which I am a fan of. That being said, there are some things I would not take from an internet stranger just on principle. I'm gonna go grab the cake box and I'll be right back. Yeah, not sussy at all. Like, there's no way they could have put additional mysterious liquids into this open gallon of milk. Crazy. Yeah, it's not always like that, food items, but people do be posting food items on there. And like, if it's a sealed package, that's one thing, but if it's like half eaten, that's wild. That's crazy. You'd have to be a braver person than myself to, yeah, to press send on that one. Okay, I do believe this cake box I have in my hand right now is tall enough. Yes, okay. I think it's actually for a 12-inch cake, circle, but ours is a 10-inch, so it'll be fine. It's more the height I'm always worried about. Like, I was really excited that those boxes that I got in. Oh, speaking of which, I just did that a couple weeks ago. There's a decorator on the other, there's another base that's a couple hours away from here. Doesn't matter, not specific. Anyway, but there's another person, and I noticed that they have posted like decorated cakes over there. They have a bigger community. And oh, he said he turned the speaker up and it doesn't sound as quiet as he thought. Okay, cool. Thanks for checking back in. I did read his message this time. I missed a message from him before where he was trying to warn me of something going awry with the stream. I was like, no. I was like, I don't want to be looking at my phone all the time while I'm streaming, but it's important. Oh yeah, so they had posted some, oh, you know what? That reminds me. They had posted some extra boxes that hadn't worked for what they were using. There were some 10-inch cake boxes, and it was just an unopened like package. I guess that wasn't the right size for them. And yeah, I was really excited because I got them, and they were like 5 or 6 inches tall, which is actually tall enough to fit some of my taller cakes. If it has a topper, it's gonna be really tall. It's gonna be like 7 to 9 inches minimum. But I was like, sick. I think some of y'all might have been here when I was boxing that cake. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna fit. Because I had just like eyeballed it, and I was like, oh, it's not gonna fit in the box. I'll have to do the thing where I prop it up and then wrap it, the top in plastic wrap. But didn't even have to do that. That reminds me, she threw in these little like food wax paper, tissue paper things, and I was gonna put one in the box because I thought it'd be cute. They had like little bows and stuff. They look kind of Valentine's Day themed, so I'm gonna go grab that and we'll do a little packaging session real quick. That'll be fun. Hee hee hee. Sorry, I know I'm walking back and forth a little more than usual today. There they are. All right. Oops. Some crinkly plastic ASMR. Not me wanting to be an ASMR artist like a silly goose. Okay. Oh, so here they are. They had like cute little bows on it. So I think like maybe they had done the same thing like me. Maybe they had advertised for like a Valentine's Day thing and didn't get a lot of orders, so they're getting rid of the stuff. But I mean, it is pink and red, but I could see using this for another packaging opportunity. It's not explicitly Valentine's Day, so I thought they were cute. There's like some like little cardboard fibers on the plastic part, so I just want to wipe those off. Here we go. Better. Oh no. Yeah, so this one will definitely be large enough for the cake. The cake's only about 2 inches tall. It's about 7 inches wide. So not giant, but a good serving for a couple people. I feel like 4 to 6 servings. It's a single layer, what would you say? I'd say at least 6 servings. Like, yeah, if you imagine 3 and then, yeah. Or 4 if you're really hungry for cake. So let's place, oh, I guess I could zoom out a little bit more. I'm real zoomed in because we're doing Gandalf. Hang on. Maybe I can just reach from here this time. and not goof it up. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Whoop. Got roll up in your face there. Here we go. So, stick an Aldi label on the box. Yeah. Just so people think. Aldi always had good butter prices. At least the one in my area, they had the best butter prices. Oh no! There's like a sticky. Don't rip. Oh no. The lip to the package is a little sticky, so I might trim that off because it got stuck to the paper. Well, now I know it, so that's okay. Anyway, that's cute. Little, like, waxy tissue paper just for under the, under the cake board. I thought that would be nice. Just a little festive. Also, she threw these in for free because I had priced out the price of the cake boards and boxes she was selling, and I was like, well, that's already a better price than like sometimes when I have to order them online. She threw these in for free, so I thought that was cool. A local Japanese supermarket here imported cakes from Japan for Christmas. Nice. Dude, I bet that was really exciting. Some delicious, adorable, like, sponge cakes. All the bakeries I saw in Japan had really cute character cakes. Like, there would be, like, a set menu of, like, characters you could choose from. Like, I saw a lot of, like, Hello Kitty cakes and, yeah, just all the characters. It was neat. The custom cake scene here is pretty cool. You see a lot of smaller cakes, and you see a lot of like sponge and more like a whipped cream texture frosting here, I think. So that's been cool. I just kind of always like when I'm walking by, I'll peep people's displays and kind of see like, oh, well, what are they doing? I have seen this one place that does like little dogs, so it's like buttercream dogs. I've done one of those cakes before. I think theirs is still like a whipped fluffy kind of frosting because the texture of it looks a certain way, but I've done a couple cakes where it looks like the top of the cake is a dog's face, and so like all of the fur texture is piped on with a buttercream piping tip. And you can do like a star tip or a, like, should I overlap them? Should I turn them diagonally? Is that gonna look nicer? Maybe that's what I'll do. Yes, that's nicer. They're kind of just like flat on the bottom of the board. But I also don't want them to flip up onto the cake. I don't know. It's like one, let me show you what I'm thinking. One of them isn't quite big enough to cover the whole bottom, so I'm like, it looks sad, just one in there. So I'm like, should I put them so they cover the whole base of the cake? Or turn it catty corner and then turn this one that way. Sorry, now you're just hearing my inner monologue of my decision making. I feel like there was a lot of that one of the last streams. I was being indecisive because I hadn't fully like decided the whole charging chuck design, so we were just kind of making it up as we went along. And yeah, it was fun, but I was doing a lot like, well, maybe I'll do this. No, maybe I'll do this. A little back and forth. Cute. Okay, I think we'll put 2 more so that the whole bottom is covered, because like, what else am I going to use these for, kind of thing. I set them right here. How many are in this pack? Oh my gosh, there's 150 sheets. We got plenty. I might as well make this look really nice. Here we go. Speaking of Japan, you were talking about the Japanese cakes that they got in. Japan is so particular about packaging, like customer service, like when you go and purchase something, the packaging is always really thoughtful. They spend like several minutes with you, like wrapping something, taping it, making it just so. I feel like that's nice touch. I don't know if that's like everywhere, but like a lot of the places I went, I felt like that was a definite feature, which is cool. It's just like nice to be thoughtful. I feel like the edges are gonna flop in. Sorry, y'all. I'm just kind of musing about this cake situation. I guess I'll just have it flat and then just make sure the whole bottom is covered. I think that'll look nice. Like, because I thought if I turned them sideways and had the corners kind of like raised up, it'd look nice, but yeah, I don't want them to touch the cake. That's the only thing. I don't want them to ruin our perfectly smooth exterior. We made it so nice and pretty. Okay, yeah, we'll do this. I'll turn this one this way. Yeah. So yeah, it's a holiday weekend here. Solal, or winter solstice, is this weekend. So it's a one of their big national holidays. I think most places will be closed Monday, Tuesday. There's going to be a lot of travel. It's a big family holiday, so people, you know, spend time with family, whether that means coming into the city or other people leaving the city to be with family. So that's pretty cool. There'll be lanterns, or at least where I live last time, like for Buddha's birthday and for Solal. Okay, say goodbye to our pretty cake. Yay. This box looks huge. The perspective is crazy sometimes on the video. It cracks me up every time. There we go. Nah, I should put one more. It doesn't reach the corner. I'm just gonna go for it. I like don't want to be wasteful, but at the same time, it might as well look nice. It's the one order I got. There. That's better. That soothes my brain for it to be covered all the way around the bottom. Perfect. All right. I actually really like the design that's printed on here. These little cartoon bows are super cute. Big fan. Okay, there you go. Cake is finally going in the box after I tiptoed around it for a while. Just like, maybe. That looks nice. I'm happy with that. Cool beans. I would lift it up and show you, but so normally you want the size of the cake box to be the exact size of the cake circle so it doesn't slide around in the box. This isn't a really tall cake, so you know, structurally I'm not really worried about anything, but I'm not gonna pick it up and tilt it because it will slide to one side. Anyway, that is another order complete. Thanks for hanging around today, guys. Oh, the box is like, oh, it's not put together yet. That's why I have to put it together. But it doesn't have any slots. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll go grab the tape and finish it up, I guess. There you go. Cute little cake for Valentine's Day. It's gonna be nice. Oh, rats. You're gonna order one of the cakes, but they flew in the order a few days before Christmas. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, get it ahead of time. Maybe next year, or maybe they'll do it for another holiday soon, hopefully. That would be cool. Try a different type of cake, a different flavor. Maybe it's like Castella cake. I know that's popular here and in Japan. It's another type of real nice, fluffy, sweet sponge cake. So good. Lots of egg. Like, so it's like real fluffy. Talk about your pancakes being fluffy earlier because of all the baking powder, but yeah, those are fluffy. Love a Castella cake. Thanks, man. It was fun. This was a good one. It was, like I said, it's kind of simple stream today, but yeah, we'll come back more. I know we got started on Gandalf. I'm gonna make him, you know, we have a while to work on him, so we'll probably work on him another day when we can just focus on like him and Frodo and everything like that. I'm mostly just doing that to fill time while we filled our order. But yeah, it's another one. You can check it off the books. I can check it on my big whiteboard calendar in the kitchen. Oh, battery. Oh my goodness. Might as well swap it so I can say proper goodbyes and stuff. But yeah, I guess we'll, hang on. Is this the charged one? I think so. Hope so. Maybe it's not. I might as well grab the one that I know is charged. Yo! There we go. Hang on 1 second. This one. Oh. Are y'all still there? I thought I lost it for a second. OBS is different than what you call it, than Prism for streaming. So I was like, wait, where do I click? Okay, cool. Cool. Hang on. I think we're back. Yes, we're still live, hopefully. Yes. Okay, we're good. Sorry, y'all. Promise. I promise things will be smoother in the future. Yeah, that being said, bear with me while we get to being more like regular and have everything set up, but we do have a Discord now. I'm gonna be more present and active on there and get that all set up for the community. That'll be fun. What else? Yeah, check out the Discord. There's some little channels on there. Go and get them going. We've got alerts now, but there's still more things for the stream itself that I want to, now that we swapped to OBS, I can like get everything set up properly. But yeah. Looking forward to next time. We'll be doing Severance. That'll probably be, like, we'll probably make the keyboard and the mouse and everything on Sunday evening US time, Monday my time. And then we'll make the actual cake part Thursday evening US time, Friday my time. Yeah, so that'll be really exciting. The keyboard, haven't fully decided. Like I said, I had a little plan that we were cooking up, but we're gonna figure it out. Maybe we can make it out of chocolate. That would be really tight. And then we could paint it. That would be sick. We'll see. Yeah, so what else? Anything else fun to update on? Yeah, I guess that's it for the day. I have to work on, if you're interested in any past streams that you've missed, I am gradually, slowly but surely. Like I said, everything's coming together, but some things take me a while, but bear with me. I am going to post on YouTube, on the Cakes by You YouTube. It's just at Cakes by You. The edited version of some of the VODs. So instead of being like 4 hours, it'll be like 10 to 15 minutes. So Rossetti will be up soon. I did a little buttercream Rossetti cake a little while ago. And then there will be like a short version, like a really short version of the buttercream Kirby cake I made. I made Sleepy Kirby, and then others to follow, like the Fortnite llama and the piranha plant. So if you weren't here and you just wanted to catch like the short, like more concise version of all the action of the stream and the process, that'd be cool to check out. So that would be neat. Yeah, but thanks for hanging around today. A little more chill today, kind of like our birthday cake order last week. It's a little more chill, but I also got to just like chit chat more because I'm just like, this is second nature. I can do this while chit chatting, so that's fun. Some of the other stuff when I'm like planning it out in real time, I'm like, okay, gotta lock in. We're just gonna have to listen to music for a minute while I figure out my life. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Stick around, see what happens next time. Yeah. I think that's everything for today. Thanks for, yeah. Again, always thanks for being here, every time. Always exciting when even one person shows up. It's really fun that people choose to spend their time here with me. It's nice to share this time with other people. So, cool beans. All right, everybody have a good night. Happy weekend. Have a good weekend. Have a good Friday, probably for most people. Still gotta make it through Friday, but I believe in you. You can do it. And yeah, have a good weekend. Yeah. Bye. Bye, everybody. Have a good night. Till next time. My hands look really big. It's this wide angle lens, I think. All right. See ya. Good night, everybody. Good night, Twitch. Good night, cakes. Good night. Good night, YouTube. Good night, Twitch. Bye.